Hello and welcome to tonight's episode of Call of Cthulhu Masks of Nyarlathotep. My name is Alex Zanarabitsky, and I will be your keeper of arcane lore for this evening. You may just call me the Keeper. Tonight, we resume once again our horror investigation in the world of the mythos. Joining me, as always, are my lovely cast of friends here at Internet Remix. I am joined, of course, by Split Guardian.
I've had my drinks ahead of time this time.
You got a pregame. We also have Atwis.
I would like to congratulate the fan server on reaching the nice number.
Nice. It is,
Can I
as the
just get a
kids
collective
say.
nice from everyone real quick?
Nice.
3, 2, 1.
Nice.
Nice.
I said it multiple times.
Nice.
I have the high score. We are also joined by Upgraded Moon, also known as Jordan,
No brain, head empty. Thank you.
who is, for this moment, Australian. You're 8 months too early. We also have the one, the only, Brother Bro Dingleberry.
Oh, thank you for introducing me on this night. Thank you very much.
Wunderbar. And last, but most certainly not least, the one, Kristen Crimes Trzynski. It's on her business cards, actually. Kristen Crimes Trzynski.
Actually, Crime Trzynski is not on my business cards yet, but I need to print new business cards, so
Yes.
I probably will actually put Crime Trzynski on my business cards next time I
Please.
print business cards.
Yo.
I beg you.
Honestly, considering full-on rebranding, Crime Trzynski actually has a better ring to it than Miss Goggles does. So
It kind of does, actually.
Kind of does. I'm into it. Everybody, welcome back. This is our 10th episode, if you can believe it, of our Masks of Nyarlathotep campaign, and the 19th episode overall of our actual Call of Cthulhu series, which is wild. So hell yeah, we're gonna dive right into it. We're very excited. Tonight is probably going to be the finale of the first arc of the game, the New York chapter. We'll see where things go. But we're happy to have you. Thank you for joining us, and as always, thank you for your support. But let us pick up where we left off last week, which is, as a quick little recap, as I always kind of do at the beginning of these. Last we left the Disaster Gang, as they have named themselves. They accompanied the police raid on Juju House, the epicenter of cult activity in Harlem, the main opposing force of their investigations into the murder of their friend Jackson Elias, brought them toe-to-toe against the cult of the Bloody Tongue. Now, most of the investigators did not go in. In fact, only James O'Connell went down with the police forces. Everybody else got to explore riveting character arcs as various police forces down there.
Bob was doing his best, living his life. 3 days from retirement.
Bob lived, which just,
He did live.
even though he sustained a grievous injury, still it. But yes, so going down to the basement of Juju House, the police raid, breaking down the door into the cellar, revealed a ceremonial chamber filled to the brim with dancing, chanting, naked cultists, all in the throes of some debased, orgiastic ceremony involving two captured victims, and a showdown happened with the various forces of the cult, including the supposed leader of this sect, Makunga Madari, finally a face to the name, the large, muscular African man who, unfortunately for James, very hastily revealed himself to be adept in the forces of eldritch sorcery, and immediately incapacitated James O'Connell with a spell that barraged his mind with horrifying imagery, maddening voices, that reduced him to a screaming, incapacitated mess on the floor. However, thankfully, the forces of the NYPD were able to keep James safe and not just kill Makunga Madari, but turn the tide of the battle and effectively corral the unarmed and panicking cultists at that point. Following the raid and James coming back to his senses, he left Juju House and wandered off into the night with no word said to even his wife among his other compatriots. Sybil then decided that she needed to go check out the basement of Juju House. What was first, of course, just an interest in the weird and occult, now is a deep-seated need to go down there, if nothing else, for the sake of her husband. But on the way to going into Juju House, several New York police detectives and officers who were still down there emerged from the storefront screaming, and many of them in the throes of massive anxiety or tremendous panic, screaming about something they saw down in the basement and that maybe saw them too. But before we dive right back to where we left off, I want to focus on James for a moment. Specifically, I want to address, we're gonna go back in time a few minutes to when the raid began and when Makunga Madari first raised his hand towards you, James, across the room, and there was the faintest shimmer of light across his palm as he bombarded your mind with imagery. And you, standing amidst the dense packed crowds, the tangle of naked twisting bodies, the smell of sweat and blood heavy in the air, as this spell washes over you, assailing your senses with madness, you collapse to the ground, no longer surrounded by bodies of in the forms of people, but instead what was once a crowd is now a surrounding and choking thicket of tall, twisted trees, the forest of Argonne in France. The distant drumming and chanting has now taken on the sinister artillery fire and rattling of machine gun in the distance. The roar of the glow of the torches in the ceremonial chamber now looks like the blazing of distant infernos, as battlefields and whole villages here in the depths of France are alight, and you are surrounded by the screaming dead. This is the state you find yourself in, and you find yourself lost in this horrifying mix between both PTSD flashback to the war and the heightened, maddened reality that is forced upon you, interlaced with flashes of horrifying imagery, distant whispering voices, old companions, old loved ones, things that sound human, but you know they are not. Time has no meaning in this delusion. You are aware truly of that you are in Juju House, but it is this mix of flashback and eldritch wizardry that just throws you into the depths of your own personal war-torn hell. It lasts seemingly for eons, mere seconds, but when it ends, that is the state you come out of, as Lieutenant Poole has come to your aid as you come out of the effects of the spell and your bout of temporary insanity wash over you. And numbly, you left, ascending the stairs out of Juju House into the cold January air outside. The night dark with clouds. It is all in your periphery. You are aware, but you're just not focusing on it. You are vaguely, aware of the fact that out on the street beyond Ransom Court there are 2-3 NY, PD lockup vans that have pulled up onto the scene where the still living cultists of the Bloody Tongue are being dragged into in large numbers, in droves. You walk past that. You can hear the voices of your friends, the voice of your wife. You process their words. You're not out of it, but you keep walking. Not a force driving your actions. You are aware. You know what you're doing. You have clarity. You are not hallucinating. You are not in the throes of madness. This is your choice. And you keep walking out into the dark of the night. Not even keeping track of the streets. You are just walking. And despite the fact that you know you're grounded in reality, that you know where you are, when you are, and what is happening around you, and you know it's not magic, you know it's not the unnatural seeping in through the cracks of reality, you just know that the distant artillery fire and screams and smell of blood and smoke you are still processing is not real. It's a construct. It's not magic. It is a memory. It is PTSD. You've had this happen to you before. But you keep walking. James, does your distant wandering have an end point in mind? What is your ultimate wandering, gonna lead to?
It doesn't really have an end point in mind. It's just a contemplation, as it were. As he walks, his hands they constantly just grip and then unfurl and then grip and then unfurl, and it's trying. It's hard. It's trying to stay in reality. As he's walking in the night, and as he's walking through Harlem and all of the shops and all of the buildings nearby, he's gonna look in a window. He wants to see his reflection. And he wants to see what's reflected back at him.
An empty storefront here in Harlem. Maybe not even in Harlem. You may have walked across neighborhoods. You don't even know. just an empty, darkened storefront window in wherever it is you are. The dark black glass surface, which, you know, reflects behind it the street lamps, the piles of snow up on the sidewalk still adorning the various buildings, sidewalks, and automobiles that are pulled up around here. You can see yourself standing clearly in the reflection. You see your face. Little worse for wear. You kind of have been putting off the pain from your wound that you sustained from whatever that undead creature was that assailed you. You are, you got scratches, some bite marks. You look bloody, but not the worst for wear. I think most importantly, you know what I'm gonna do? I think this feels right. I'm gonna ask you to make a sanity roll while looking into your reflection, for just no other reason than this is just human existentialism at its finest. Cool. I'll call that 2 points of sanity damage.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'll call that 2 points of sanity damage from a failure of just... I'm just thinking how to phrase this, and I believe you're still within the threshold of your sanity skill. Like, you haven't taken too much sanity damage. I mean, well, you took 5 sanity damage earlier, and I believe your threshold is was at like a 10, so I think you're still good, because you haven't taken too much. Yeah, this sanity damage is only just for looking into your reflection and not being able to see yourself still there beneath what is looking back. It is you. There's nothing unnatural about it, but this is just the crushing reality of a scarred and broken down soldier in this state, looking into your reflection and just not being able to see the man beneath it.
Yeah. That's the case, huh? James stares for a moment, because I, the player, know that he's being trailed, and what these cops would see is, for a solid couple minutes, he stares into his own reflection and just slowly, hesitantly raises his fist. It's soft at first, not even really gripping, and then as it's raised head height, it slowly becomes more and more curled into a fist, and then staring directly at himself, punches straight into the window.
And we'll cut away from that for a minute. You go back over to the investigators, following the immediate aftermath of what has just happened at Juju House. James has walked away, and I know some of you are going to want to do something about that, and we'll get to you in a minute. But let's first go with the most pressing thing at hand, which is that... Back's over. So, these NYPD cops who've stumbled out of the storefront of Juju House, collapsing, like there were 5 cops still down there as the rest were herding things up, 3 cops essentially are out in the courtyard, screaming, having panic attacks. One of them just stumbles out of the storefront, drops to his hands and knees, and just starts openly vomiting onto the cobbles and snow, in the throes of their attack. And one, very much like Saving Private Ryan style, just a dude who walks out of the storefront, eyes wide, and just walking slowly out into the air, just a look of plastered calm at a dude who is completely shell-shocked, just like walks out into the night air and just like steps. A few cops are attending them, like Lieutenant Poole's looking around like, the fuck is happening? Attending to the like getting like yelling for Dr. Sullivan to like attend to like the people who are like visibly throwing up, and like
Yeah,
you know,
of course.
so Officer Bob has been taken away by now for actual full-on medical attention at a hospital from his neck injury after getting stabbed through the fucking throat. But Sybil, you were in the midst of having being a girl on a mission. Kit, you run over attending to these. I mean, like, you don't need to make any sort of roll whatsoever to know what a full-on anxiety panic attack is like. But this is like, you know, this is, I mean, you've seen the worst of things, truly. This is like men reeling with their own sanity kind of panic attacks, which is something you've definitely seen before. Like, this is like, it's just the implications of something that can cause this level of it is terrifying. But you're attending them. None of them are like in any immediate physical harm. But Sybil, with this happening around you, what is Sybil doing?
Sybil watches these men, you know, these grown-ass, like, adults who have gone through some shit being police officers and seeing them freak out. She knows that her husband, who has seen lots of shit, has just wandered off into the night, more shell-shocked and horrified than she has ever seen him. And she now believes more than anything that she needs to get down into that basement and see what the fuck did this.
Okay.
So,
I will say that the chaos of this scene before you, of just like the police being attended to, Lieutenant Poole going around checking his men, trying to like get orders on that, you have this perfect window of just, you could walk into the darkness of Juju House right now and like you would just be a shadow in the night. Like, you're not in the focus of anyone's main eyes right now, of like the larger forces at play here. So you're just walking into Juju House.
Yep. And that's what Sybil does.
And Kit, you're obviously attending to.
Yeah, he wouldn't see her. He would be too focused on the people that he was called to attend to.
So then, Mason and Sunil, I just want to check in with you guys as to what you are doing in this immediate moment, as not just James has walked off, but there's this sudden surge of panic and fear and confusion in the air.
Mason, upon realizing that there's something that's a lot more than just broken pieces of a raid is at play, realizes that maybe it's not the best choice to go down there, but he does in fact follow Sybil into Juju House and just kind of lifts the hatch. It's like, now listen, if anything happens, just give us a shout. We'll be right down, okay?
Will do.
I'll be right here.
Yeah.
You'll stay by
Mason.
Mason will stay by the hatch.
Mason with the hunting knife out will sit by the entrance, just waiting, listening.
Cool.
Sybil
Standing guard.
looks at Mason. She nods. What's Sunil doing?
Sunil this entire time has been what I like to call meerkatting, as in like, because he's not doing anything like super particular, he is popping his head up occasionally, look left, look exactly what Xander is doing on camera right now. He's popping up, look left, look right. He's been taking stock of everyone this whole time. So he was every few minutes looking up, look at James, but James has turned a corner now. So he's like, well, James is being followed by cops, so like at least somebody's with him. I have no idea what's going on with that. Kit's in the throes of whatever Kit is doing. He probably did see Sybil and Mason go down, but because Mason went with her, he's probably just going to make a mental stock of that, because had Mason not gone with her, he would have been like, well, I guess I have to go in and do the thing, but like, no, Mason went with her. God, dude's at a loss right now, because he's just like, anything helpful I could be doing at this exact moment is not like immediately coming to mind for him. So
yeah, totally. So just to clarify then that's perfectly fine. So nobody is everyone's just trusting the cops who are on James's tail. Nobody's following James themselves.
It's yeah, no, if I had to go with his immediate thing, he'd be like, anything that is going on with James, I wouldn't be able to, like, he's out of it. I might be able to talk to him. I might be able to, like, it's, fuck, sorry.
No, yeah, totally, you're fine.
No, because I'm just like, would Sunil follow James at this exact moment, having seen a bunch of people just run out of Juju house, throwing the fuck up?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, no, he just told me what the thought process was. He wouldn't follow James. He's just like, yeah, but if anything happens to Sybil, James will be even more fucked up. So I need to be here in case something happens to Sybil.
Okay, absolutely. Then you're meerkatting, keeping an eye on Juju house. Mason's inside there. You get the visual confirmation that Mason is like standing guard in there, but Sybil is like gone down.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
All right, so Sybil, we'll focus on you now. Mason holds the hatch open for you. You descend. Mason, do you leave the hatch open, or do you like close it behind her, or?
Yeah, he's gonna leave the hatch open, purely just to listen, just in case. But yeah, he lifts it and he just leaves it hanging open.
Totally cool. Hang on, Sybil, you descend down into the dark steps, the depths of Juju house. The smell of sweat and tinged with blood thick on the air. Kind of walking your way down this long hallway, the door that stands thrown open, like whoever those cops, they ran out of here in a hurry. They didn't close anything behind them. You see this ceremonial chamber before you that was already described. This is the first time you're seeing it. All the African drums that line the surrounding walls, many of them toppled over, crushed, some most broken. The various strange symbols carved into like the stonework of this room. First and foremost, I'm gonna have to ask you to make a sanity roll for just the dead bodies that have not been cleaned up from in here. Yeah, of course. Fucking of course. A few.
You've seen one dead body, you've seen them all.
Few dead cultists sprawled out around here, including one in particular, a very tall, muscular African that's been shot clean through the head, with just wearing very like a ceremonial feathered cloak, lion claw gloves that are one hand is just coated in blood, sprawled out on the floor, and also 4 very decomposed bodies with that same symbol that was carved into Jackson's head, their entrails hanging out. Corpses that look like they've been dead for like a while, which occurs to me that Sybil knows nothing of these things walking around just yet. But so she just, so I think that strikes you as just seeing the cult symbols. Oh, surely these are some kind of weird sacrifice.
Yeah,
or...
she would just, I mean, logically, she would just assume that they just the same thing happened to them that happened to Jackson, and that's it.
Yeah. There is the 8-foot wide like stone well off to one end of the chamber, the big heavy stone block attached to a large winch on the wall. Immediately across from the doorway is an alcove that is filled with a lot of stuff. You'd have to get closer to examine them. But Sybil, standing in the midst of this main ceremonial chamber of the cult of the Bloody Tongue, what's she do?
So, she should be horrified, because everyone's been horrified, but Sybil is, of course, fascinated. There is, of course, the something down here hurt my husband and I'm gonna fucking wreck it if I can, but mostly she's just like, this is so fucking cool and fucked up. So she's just sort of exploring the room, probably goes for that altar because it's a cult altar. She's gotta see what's over there.
In the alcove, you said?
Yeah, the alcove, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
totally.
an A word.
It's an A word. Yeah, they're all the same.
AL.
Yeah, it's all the same. Yeah, it's this 6-foot square alcove that's directly across on the other side of the room from the door that you step through. You walk over, a few dead bodies, and there's a little bit of a curtain that kind of like half covers the alcove off. You push it off to the side. A lot of belongings in here that are stacked, piled around. Most of them have been wrapped in leopard's hide, placed up against the back wall, very well out of the way. There are like pegs that signify that something could be hung there, like articles of clothing. Those are currently bare. If you had to hazard a guess, the dude who's wearing the big feathered robe and like headdress and all that fun stuff, probably that is what was hanging here. It was also worth noting that Makunga Madari's corpse also had a, very similar to Silas Nakwane, mummified tongue headpiece that was a lot more fucked up now that it's been, shot. But yeah, various belongings strewn up around here. Hanging above the pegs is a very modern-looking marine chronometer. For those of you who don't know what a marine chronometer is, it's a type of time-telling device that is largely used, as the name implies, by seafaring vessels like the Navy, for example. They're kind of like these like clocks suspended in like boxes, essentially. Their main purpose, and I'm not gonna have anyone roll for this, just because, if you brought this to Kit, or if you brought this to really anyone who knew modern equipment, a marine chronometer is a very, very well and accurate time-telling device. It's very serviceable for being able to tell time accurately in different parts of the world.
Which would be necessary if you're trying to have your sacrifices at a very specific time.
Are you looking like kind of at the clock?
Yes.
It is not telling the local time.
Hmm.
Can you give me a no roll, which is just your education skill?
Oh, fuck.
Yeah, the time on the marine chronometer is Greenwich Mean Time, 4 hours ahead of New York.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I'm gonna file that away.
But here, I'll narrate. Kind of. We'll assume that Sybil's like fingering through the various belongings, and I will, very similar to Jackson's hotel room, I will narrate kind of what they look like at a glance. You can tell me which ones you want to focus on first. There is a very beat up looking book that's kind of like lying wrapped up in one area. A very fucking weird looking like mask that's lying around here as well. A burnished copper bowl. A carved scepter. Some kind of headband like made out of metal. And what looks like a cash box.
Okay. I think first I'm gonna try to open up the cash box. I think
it is locked, but you get the idea that it could be very easily pried open with like a screwdriver or a knife or something, unless you wanted to try like lock picking it yourself.
I am not good at that, so I will leave that to someone else.
Totally. Yeah, you tuck that under one arm, holding this locked cash box.
God, look at this. Sibyl's looking at the scepter and this mask. Like, I can't fit all of this into my furs, or can I?
You want me to just go down the line and like just narrate everything?
Listen, Sibyl's gonna stop and look at every single thing.
Hell yeah. So I'll start with the very beat up looking book that is lying around here that you find. This is another Mythos tome. So let me open that real quick. Hold on. Second. Where's my document?
Excited for that Mythos tome.
So it is a green cloth over paperboard is what it's bound in. 6 inches by 8 1/4 inches, about 328 pages, with the title stamped on the spine, which is Africa's Dark Sects. Though the date of the publication is listed as being only 4 years previous, published in 1921, the book is in extremely poor condition. The spine is broken, the back cover is cracked, and multiple pages are dog-eared. there are also some marginal notes in pencil, in characters you recognize, but not in a language you know. The author is given as one Nigel Blackwell, no publisher listed. The end paper inside the cover bears a bookplate indicating it belongs to Harvard University's Widener Library.
Okay.
Which you immediately flash back to the letter you
Yeah.
found from Harvard, from Miriam Atwood at Harvard, to Jackson, saying that the book that you're looking for is not currently in our collection. You never found out what book that was, but now you have a pretty solid idea that this might be it.
It was probably this one. Sweet.
Also, I forgot to mention, you also find all of the clues you already have that were stolen from Jackson's room.
Sybil immediately, very spitefully, grabs all of them and shoves them into her pocket.
Yeah,
we already have copies of them,
Yeah.
but fuck it. They're Jackson's and she's taking them back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So there's that book, Africa's Dark Sects.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Let's
that's
see.
just going on the coat.
That's something you could easily put in your coat. What is next? Oh, okay. The strange mask. Let me get a description up for you.
All right.
So what you're looking at here is a carved wooden African mask with 4 hideous faces perched atop a thick, corded neck with a basket-like reed, feather, and fabric collar that hides the face. No straps, ties, or handles on it to hold in place. Looks like something that you would like drape over your head, so like that the basket covering like covers your face. It's like a strange, kind of like porous, dark wood.
Okay.
So that's that. The burnished copper bowl, simple as that. It is etched with various strange runes and signs. The carved scepter, very clearly African in origin. It's inset with very strange markings. Perhaps recognizable to somebody who read Egyptian hieroglyphics, but not something that you immediately, process yourself. The headband, it's made out of some kind of gray metal. There are various cuneiform-like characters scratched into the surface of this surprisingly heavy and curiously warm metal headband. And then that is what's in the alcove.
Sybil is going to take off her furs and her big old fur coat and then just kind of use it to like wrap everything up in it, basically.
I'd say that the only thing you'd have trouble with is the no, I think you can get. I think effectively, it's not like it's like a lot, So
So here's the thing.
The scepter's the longest thing, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, her big thing is like she wants to get it out of the room and to Mason before she
Sure.
Because she wants to go look. She wants to know what's in that pit.
Sure,
She must
totally.
know. But she also knows that her husband was just driven mad and several men just ran out of here screaming.
Yeah.
And she doesn't want to lose her mind and lose track of everything she's just scooped up.
Right. Yeah. Cool. So I mean, yeah, you can bundle it up. You can bundle it off. The most conspicuous thing I'd say is like the scepter, because that's just long. But otherwise, everything else kind of like fits in a nice bundle. You walk back upstairs. Hand off your bundle to Mason.
Pokes up. Mason, I found a lot of things. Shove.
Jordan, you're muted.
You're muted.
Mason just stammered, just looks. There's not gonna be a tongue in this, is there?
There wasn't a tongue in this mask, I think, but she puts it down. She looks him in the eyes. She's like, I'm going to go look and see what's in the well.
You're gonna take a look at what's in the well?
I
It
am.
drove a bunch of fucking people crazy. Are you sure
I
about that?
know.
technically
If I
Mason doesn't
start
know that there's a well down there, but also that's fine because none of you really do.
Oh
Yeah.
shit! I
Yeah,
thought
no, no,
that
you're totally
they
good.
said that there was something in the well.
Oh,
That's my
okay,
bad.
okay. That actually, you know what? That's
I also heard them say there's something.
You're
in the well.
correct. I am the fool. I have the egg on my face. That is something they yelled. Yeah, and I yeah, that's yeah. Proceed. Ignore me.
Okay, but Mason looks down at the stuff. Okay, if something happens.
If something happens,
Okay,
come and get
Just-
me.
okay.
Okay. Thanks.
Sorry, I had another spam call. It just started vibrating on my desk. I'm just gonna toss my phone over there.
I heard you were streaming.
We're calling about your car's extended warranty.
I've been getting those calls non-fucking stop, man.
I get them all the time, and I don't have a car or a license. It's great.
Yeah.
Anyway,
But yeah, Mason is now just holding on to the pile of things. Anything else that you want me to carry, or is this good?
Sybil thinks for a second, and then she just sort of like pulls her gun off of like her hip, and she's like, "Nope, I'm good."
All right. Okay.
And off she goes.
Go back into the basement. Mason, you
Yep.
leave the hatch open, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
It's around this point, I'd say, and when Sybil dives back down there, that Lieutenant Poole like pokes his head into like the shop, sees you, Mason, like holding like a big bundle under like a fur coat, and he just goes, "I'm not gonna ask right now."
What?
You
It's
good?
impolite to not hold a lady's jacket.
You good?
Yeah, I'm good. Just staying up here for now.
Okay, well,
I'm okay.
he like looks over his shoulder and sighs and just, "I assume Miss Cordova's downstairs."
Whatever gave you that idea?
Fuck, I have to deal with what's outside. You just don't do anything that's gonna lead to a lot of mess. Just,
Of course.
I'm
of
outside,
course.
but promise is a promise. Poke around, just don't fuck anything up, please.
Has
course.
Lieutenant Poole not figured out at this point that every time he tells us not to fuck something up?
He looks like a man who realizes it as he says it.
We stayed out
And-
of trouble for 24 hours.
Yeah.
We
It is
stayed out of
request,
trouble
thank
for
you very much.
24 hours. We
And-
are overdue for trouble.
And as
I found
as
out I was being followed and didn't cause a riot.
And as he walks out of the room, subconsciously puts his hand on his gun and just holds it in his palm. But no, Sybil, you go back downstairs. You see to look at, like, survey the well itself.
Yeah.
Thick, heavy stone block that's been rested atop the lip of the well, attached to a very, like, large winch, essentially.
Okay. Is there anything? Are there any markings, or is there anything special going on around the well?
Around the well, no. There's like, I mean, there's like symbols everywhere, carved all over the
Okay.
place in here.
Just
But
a
nothing
lot.
specific with the well. The winch has a very like obvious, like kind of like big like turning winch mechanism, essentially, that to like and like pulleys like lift the lid off the pit.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Is there anything else like in the room that's like of interest?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sybil takes a deep breath and she looks over the edge into the well.
The well is closed. The lid is
Oh,
on top
really?
of the well. Yeah.
Oh,
the lid is
bummer.
sorry. The lid
I
that's
have to
attached.
move it?
You have to, I know, such an inconvenience. You know,
I
like-
am a tiny woman.
Yes, you are. And I will say, you can even attempt this if you want. Just like trying to turn the winch, you're not going to be able to do this alone. This is a heavy stone block. Mechanically speaking, in order to maneuver this winch, it needs a combined strength of 125.
I see. Well, I have 40. So.
So you might need a little help. Fortunately, yeah. This thing is a thick cut block of stone that is fully sealing off this pit.
Sybil like sighs, comes back. I need help opening the well.
I got 45 strength. We're gonna need someone else too. I looked at my strength and I'm
What's
like,
the combined score that they need?
collectively
125.
we have 85 strength.
So basically, it's going to take 3 of the weakest babies
Yes,
here.
yes. Except Sybil's like, Kit, Sunil, don't tell Kit.
Really quickly, hold on, really quickly. I need a sidebar. Split's making little walkie fingers on cam. I need to know exactly what you're trying to say.
I'm saying me as the strongest person here is very far away.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Just making.
What's the strength?
That's a good question.
How
Hold on, let me.
How dare
Just for
you?
fun,
assume?
let's find out. This
Yeah,
is
for funsies.
let's just for this check.
65.
60. Nice.
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 Hey,
Hey.
God.
What?
Don't tell Kit. Jesus Christ. Famous last words. Please don't let this be your last words.
So Sybil, if you tell Sunil not to tell Kit, he'll be like, okay, just give me a second.
I told Mason not to tell Kit. She did
Okay.
not tell Neil
Okay,
don't
good.
tell Kit.
Because, like,
You telling me not to tell Kit, but I tell Kit everything.
Sybil just grabs Mason's face. I need you to not tell Kit because Kit just saw people come out screaming about this well and how they saw the well and then they threw up and then he would tell me, don't look at the well, but I have to see what's in the well, Mason. So,
Are you sure it's a good idea? Okay, I'll go get Sunil. Breaking under the pressure of the Sybil. He broke. He's getting Sunil.
Mason's going to get Sunil, who is outside playing nurse and meerkatting, yes.
But Mason holding on to this coat. Just, Sunil, hi, how you feeling? You feeling okay?
I'm fine. How's Sybil?
Excellent. She needs our assistance for a second. Come on.
Oh, interesting. What is in your hands?
A coat?
I see. We came in a separate car from. They brought us in a separate. So, if we're going to be helping Sybil, we might want to put that somewhere, you know. Nods head toward the car.
Mason seeing Sunil nod his head, not catching what he's saying at all.
Sunil, Mason, we need to put the things in the car. Your hands are full. How are we supposed to do anything if your hands are full, Mason?
Oh, motherfucker!
They put the things in the car. It's like if anybody asks, it's just Sybil's coat. She left it in the car. What are you talking about? Anyway,
Juju house. I don't know what to tell you.
they headed on the way back in.
Yeah,
you-
they put the-
Sunil immediately looks at Kit and like, Kit.
Kit like sort of looks up from the person. It's either a police officer, it's a cultist. He doesn't give a shit. He's just treating what is put in front of him. He sort of looks up.
Oh, definitely not cultists.
No. Kit is treating anyone who is injured.
Yeah.
Oh no, I know. Well, okay, if you are, then the cops are deliberately trying to drag cultists away into the cars and get them off the scene.
Which is totally fair,
Yeah.
but Kit is the type of guy who
Okay,
he
hell
will
yeah.
treat anyone who is injured in
You
front
have
of him.
definitely
He-
earned
respect that.
super respect that. You've definitely earned the ire of several cops out here. But they don't care. Cool. So yes, continue.
Kit sort of looks up distractedly, then looks up again, more focused. What? Yes.
Kit, I need you to understand. I need you to know where we're going.
Okay.
I need you to understand where we're going. We are going downstairs.
Okay.
Sunil's like thinking for a second. He's just like, actually, it doesn't make any sense for me not to ask this.
Mason doesn't know what to do. He doesn't know whether or not he should stop him.
No, Sunil, because Sunil can tell that Kit is like in like a like mid fixing thing right now, so it's kind of like, but also he's about to tell him, hey, we're about to go do a dangerous thing. So, Kit,
Yes.
Sybil's gone downstairs. She needs our help. I'm not asking your permission, but I am asking, do you want to do anything about it?
Kid sort of does a long exhale. Then he looks up as if a thought has struck him. Where's James?
I've been watching James. James is being followed by 2 cops at this exact moment. He has gone down the street. He's gone. I don't know where he is, but he does have people with him.
Kit sort of like he pauses. He looks over at Sunil and just sort of like looks at him as though he's like finally seeing him, and then he looks up and he looks around the courtyard and looks at the people that he needs to attend to, and looks at all the wounded, and just looks back at Sunil and just. You'll be safe, right?
We'll be as safe. We will be as safe as we possibly can, and I am promising you this. We will be as safe as we possibly can. All right?
Okay.
Okay.
I'll hold you to that, Makara. I'll hold you to that. And just if something happens, just yell. Just yell.
I'll yell, Freya.
Okay.
So Sunil goes back to Mason and is just like, well, Kit's fine with it, as far as he can be. We have, there are still people up here. Yeah, let's go help Sybil.
Okay.
Really quick, just before you guys go down, I need to reestablish. So wait, where did you put the fur coat bundle of evidence?
The fur coat bundle of evidence is still a fur coat, and it's still mostly covered by the fur coat, but it is in the car. Like, it's in the car that they had Sunil.
So you walked to the car, put it in there. I mean, yeah, because it's a fur coat's fucking thick as hell. Like it is.
Yeah. And it's a big. Listen, it's a huge coat. Sybil.
Yeah, the car that the quote unquote civvies were brought in the first place. That's the car they put.
I am going to say, that as you do that, it will, because obviously you go back, you talk to Kit, but as you're walking the car, you're putting the fur coat in the car. It's just Sunil and Mason doing this.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You hear a voice behind you, familiar voice, the voice of Lieutenant Poole. Go, what are you doing?
Hello, Lieutenant.
He just looks at you and goes, am I correct in assuming that you are currently in that coat, bundle of stuff you found in the basement? Or rather, I should say, was found in the basement. Just a yes or no answer. No, nothing else. Yes or no.
Sure.
Mason consults the council. Who I lied to Lieutenant Poole.
It's too late to
Sunil, Mason just goes like, time for deep mind, and Sunil just goes, yes. And so Lieutenant Poole sighs and goes, okay. I would like to look at what's in the bundle to first decide if there's anything I can use as a cop for the case.
Honestly, yeah, you're entirely correct. I don't think we were planning on keeping this from you forever. It's just
okay. As long as we're on the same page.
Same page.
There's something fucking strange happening here.
Mm-hmm.
And I acknowledge that there might be things in here that I don't want to know about. I'd like to take a look at it. Let's first determine if there's anything I need to do my job, and the rest so you can do whatever your job ends up being.
Understandable.
He looks at you, Mason goes, yeah?
I'm
Snaps
sorry,
his fingers a few times.
I was.
He's a little.
May Brain James step
I'm
to the
so sorry.
council.
I was doing some really tough thinking. James stepped up to the council. It's like, get the fuck out of the way. I'm taking over.
Brain James O'Connell fucking walks up onto the podium as the council goes, just do whatever Sunil does.
And then Mason says, just do whatever Sunil does.
Hi, I'm Sunil. We yes.
Go ahead and take a look. Yes, sir.
Lieutenant Poole walks over to the coat, flips it open, pokes around, like he's using it like his the butt of like his gun, essentially, like open and like prod around in there, because he's he kind of goes, all right. You guys see all the belongings in there, the book, the scepter, all these weird things that Sybil put up in her bundle. He looks at he goes, this is a lot of okay. He looks at the locked cash box, and he goes, anyone got a knife or some kind of like screwdriver in the car?
As a matter of fact, I do. Pull out a really big hunting knife that he's been waiting to use.
Okay, now you're gonna listen to
need a
me.
normal sized, smaller knife.
No, that's fine. Just do. He takes the cash box and just says, "Tip under the lid and yank."
Yes, sir.
Clank. Yeah, it easily comes up. The cash box is like full of like jewelry and other like bits of like personal items. And like Lieutenant Poole just kind of like begins to like look through here, and he goes, "Hey, Cole, hold on a second." Like Poole like leans down, and like begins to like piece through like the various bits of like belongings. Some of them are inscribed, some of them are identifiable. He goes, "I might be jumping the gun on this one, but a lot of these are inscribed with names of people that were killed by supposedly Hilton Adams."
Oh.
I think you may have just found evidence that's going to exonerate your friend.
Yeah, baby. Mason high-fiving everyone in the council. Yeah, yeah.
All this
Confetti goes off.
all this other stuff, sure, it plays into whatever weird, strange, I hate to say it, cult angle is going on here. Sure. This is the only thing I need to do my job as a...
Then please feel free. Please.
Hold on. Is there anything of immediate interest, since he's already looked through it? Is there anything just generally?
It's all just like random bits of jewelry. I mean, given that all like the assortment in the cash box, probably all just shit that the cult nicked from the people they killed.
Liddy, yeah, you can go ahead.
Oh, I just thought of something. Was Jackson's pipe missing when he died?
No. It was
No?
like, yeah,
Okay.
no, the only thing that was stolen from Jackson's room was the clues. But yeah, so essentially Poole
Yeah,
says,
that was the one thing that Jackson had as
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a loose item. I just wanted to make sure.
yeah, no, totally. He was buried with his pipe in his hat, I believe.
Oh, God bless. God bless.
Yeah, he was actually.
He was buried with his pipe in his hat. But anyway, so Lieutenant Poole takes the cash box and says, as far as I'm concerned, in the chaos of what happened down there, a lot of their shit got broken. But we found this. I'm not gonna ask any more questions.
It's
I
very
at
much
least-
appreciated.
Just all of you, and pass this on, meet me in my office tomorrow morning so we can talk about this afterward. I gotta go back to attending to my men and rounding up these cultists. They're gonna be cleaning up the basement in a little bit, so I can buy you some time if you're still poking around down there. So you have
Sure.
10 minutes. Go.
Okay.
10 minutes.
Paul, what did you see down there? Is there anything that I should know to
Nothing that
not look at?
I mean, there's some bodies down there. I saw some weird things down there, but I don't know if it was what caused my men to run up from the basement like that. I don't know what I saw. Look, we'll talk about this in the morning. Just, there are bodies down there. They're not cleaned up yet, but they shouldn't be moving anymore. We'll talk about what I saw tomorrow. Poole kind of like walks off, a little disturbed. You guys join back with Sybil. You know, and down. So what is Sunil's strength score?
It's not high. Hold on. It should be exactly what they need to get there, actually.
As long as it's 40, like at least.
I think
40,
it
we're
is
okay.
40.
Wait, so
I think it is exactly what they need to get.
Mason's is what?
45.
And Sybil's is
40.
and
and-
Sunil's is 40.
Yes.
it is exactly what you need.
That's fucking great. Mason is kind of peeked at what Pool said, that they shouldn't be moving anymore.
I'm glad you picked up on that.
Yeah, he's.
Oh yeah, but if you're going down to the basement, I'm gonna need sanity rolls from Sunil and Mason, just for like the corpses
Yeah.
that are down there. It is a disturbing scene.
Okay.
Yeah.
Baba Booey.
Bubble boy.
Yay!
Did I click it? Did I click it? No.
You did. You got a
Yeah,
failure.
you did.
Oh, fuck.
That's-
You rolled it twice.
It's
Well-
not. Oh, you rolled it twice. I don't see it. Hold on.
I rolled one failure, one success. So the first
Oh,
one
okay.
is the failure.
The failure came, so we're gonna take the failure. Okay, you will lose
Our sanity is so close together.
2 points of sanity. Just 2.
I now have more sanity than you.
No, you don't. We both lost. Oh no, you fuck!
Both of you
So-
to assume that I
I was
lost.
about to say, I was
got a
telling the fans
therapist.
earlier, like, I think Sunil and fuck, what is your name? Mason. I think Sunil and Mason are only like 2 point apart in sanity, and well,
So, Sunil, the sight of all like the bodies that were killed down here, turns your stomach. Feel bile rise in the back of your throat and like kind of a thumping in your chest, just at the scene of just the scene around you. But yeah, it's nothing more than that. Sybil, Sunil, Mason, you trying to work the winch together?
Yep.
Yeah.
The three of you working in tandem to turn the winch as you lift the lid off of the well. I need the three of you to make sanity checks right fucking now.
Oh, I was hoping. I was hoping that they wouldn't have to look. Like they could keep.
It's
their
not
eyes
a look.
closed
It's
and
not a
just-
look.
Oh.
This is a
Oh.
here, but I'm having you roll sanity first.
fuck.
Damn.
Shit.
So Sybil succeeds, surprising nobody. Hold on 1 second.
Oh god, I just realized something. Crossing my fingers here.
What did you realize?
It's 5 points at one time, or
From a single source. Of
From a
5 points?
single,
From a
okay.
single source. Yeah, so it's not like cumulative building. No, you need to take 5 or more from a single sanity hit, not like 2 different sources that triggers
Okay.
a potential.
it's like they're 2 seconds close to each other. That's why I asked. But like,
Imagine temp sanity and Sunil just fucking right hooks Mason.
Sybil, you lose 1 point of sanity.
Okay.
Mason and Sunil,
Oh,
you
fuck.
lose 2.
okay.
So as the
Holy
lid
shit.
comes off the pit, the tense silence of the ceremonial chamber is immediately interrupted by just the most vile, loud, shrieking wail that is emerging nonstop from the pit, echoes up through the stairwell, out through the storefront. Kit, you need to roll a sanity check too.
Oh fuck.
Yes, sir. Give me a moment. I wasn't expecting.
Yeah, you're
Fuck
good.
me.
It's occasionally I put jump scares in here.
I definitely jumped.
You're all good, buddy.
Anyway,
one point of
success.
sanity damage to you.
Yeah.
As echoing up is this harrowing, multiple voices at once, shrieking scream that just is coming out of the pit without stop. Like it is this constant, horrid, wailing scream. Sometimes the various voices cut out, but other voices are still carrying the scream. It is unending as you have lifted the lid off the pit. None of you are actually looking inside of it right now, though. I will ask first, though. We're gonna cut back to James, and so James.
What the fuck? Holy shit. Oh, yeah, that's me.
Sometimes we forget we're in a horror game. Anyway, so James, we established that where you last were, you are just punching the glass of this window. Just for posterity, I'm gonna have you roll a strength check, just straight strength.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Yeah. You straight up after like a few punches, drive your fist through the window, shattering the glass. I'm gonna call this like, yeah, that's I'm gonna say that's probably a point of damage just from the glass that is now cutting your fist and forearm. Nothing life threatening, but yeah, I do think that has to be qualified as damage. Punch through the glass. The two cops who are tailing you at this point will fully like run up to like put hands on you and like pull you away from the window you just shattered.
Okay. There's gonna have to be a couple of questions.
Yeah, what's up?
The pain is evident. Yes?
Yeah, there are like little trickles of blood flowing down from the cuts in your arm and fist. It's a persistent stinging, but it's by no means the worst pain you've ever felt.
But it's there.
It's there.
I feel pain. I see blood. I'm getting dragged back. James instinctually is going to kind of struggle against the pain, against the people pulling him back. If they do, if they go up to restrain him, he's immediately going to be thrashing and fighting to be let go of.
Okay, I'd say that they grab you and drag you away from the window, thrashing, flailing, to the point where you don't escape their grasp, but they like release and drop you onto the street with a heavy thud, and kind of like stand off to the side there. You can like hear them. They are talking, but their voices are just thrumming against your skull. It's kind of, you are in your head right now. You can't make out the exact words, but they're saying something probably akin to getting you to stop, calm down, like getting a hold, to try and make you get a hold of yourself.
Are they talking to me?
They're talking to you. Are you trying to focus on what exactly they're saying?
For a moment.
Yeah, there's like, hey, buddy, calm, don't. You know, a mix of them just saying something akin to.
Are these voices I recognize?
They're just like two random cops that were in like the raid as well.
He's going to quickly get to his feet and just turn around, look them in the face. He's panicked.
Yeah.
No faces he recognizes.
I mean, recognize only that you recognize these cops just from the group who was of Pool's raid group, of just people.
Were they there with me in the basement?
These two cops were probably on street duty, so they were not in the basement, but you recognize them from Pool's bullpen.
James is probably leaned back against the wall by this point.
The cops are just like, one of them like has his hand on his gun, but like it's just holding it there. Men are not like actively pulling it. The other one's standing there. They're both kind of like standing in front of you to like block you off, but like not like encroach too much in your space. And one of them just saying, "All right, we're gonna take you back to your friends so you can get your arm looked at. All right."
James's hand is in his jacket, just over his gun, because he sees.
I think the cop who sees you, like putting a hand into your jacket is like wrapping his fingers around his actual gun just from tension. I'm gonna have this other cop roll something real quick behind the screen. Ooh, that's a very low roll. He immediately sees what you're doing, sees what he's doing, looks over at the other cop and like puts a hand on his wrist and pulls it off the gun and just goes, no. All right? Like pulls off the gun, looks at you and says, "Hey."
He, noticing that the hand is now off the gun, he just pulls his hand out, just trying to calm down, just doing his fucking damnedest. He is clearly distressed, clearly not in his right mind, but just there enough to notice, okay, they're trying. He should too.
Come on, buddy, get up. Right? We're gonna walk you back over to your friend now, and you can get your arm looked at. Okay? Need to punch any more? Don't need to punch any more windows. Come on.
He looks down at his bleeding hand, and he looks back at the police, and just 1 second. I'm gonna do.
Uh-oh.
And he nods. Just, he's not calm by any means, but he's trying. And he nods to the cop who's trying to mediate between the two. And he's just okay. All right.
And those cops are gonna try and walk you back to Ransom Court. Take you back to your friends.
Yeah. James
One
will-
of them turns to the other and says, "Yeah, hold off on reporting this. We'll tell Poole what happened here." And then they keep walking with you. Cool. So let's go back to Juju House.
Oh fuck.
I'm gonna change. What's a scarier song? Oh yeah, that's it. So I will first ask Kit, who hears this horrifying wail coming up from the depths of Juju House, what his immediate reaction is.
Is there anyone in Kit's general vicinity who looks like they are grievously injured or close to, death without medical treatment?
Not at this point, I'd say.
Okay, because his first instinct would be to do triage, and
Yeah.
if that's not the case, then Kit's going to look to the alley entrance to Ransom Court as if hoping that James is there, and he's not, and he snaps back and just all focus, takes his rifle out of his case, and advances
Runs down into the basement.
carefully.
Yeah. Okay. Moves in. So before Kit gets there, so Sybil, Mason, Sunil, immediately after lifting the head, you hear the screaming, the distorted wails. None of you have looked into the pit yet, but you are assailed by this loud shrieking. What do you guys do?
Mason freezes up, holding the winch. He doesn't really know what to do. He doesn't want to drop it because it might do something, but he is not sure whether or not to hold it up.
Now I will say, and I'll add this for flavor, I'd say that the winch is in a position, after winding it up, that you could quite easily either of your choice to choose to drop the block back on, or you could just as easily leave the lid off of it and release the winch to let the block finish sliding all the way off to the side, without having to hold it. You could do either of your choice. So yeah, confirm.
Sunil in the middle of wincing, because he's wincing. In the middle of wincing, he's accepted that Sybil is piloting the ship.
Yeah.
So he's just kind of like, I'll do whatever you ask me to do.
I will say you get the choice, your group, and I guess, Kristen, you are elected leader of the decision. You get the choice to either put the lid back on, continue to hold the winch, or let the lid drop off before Kit gets in here. You get to make this choice now.
I think someone's just be like, hold it. I'm gonna look, and then we close it.
Okay, cool. So you say hold it, I'm gonna look. This is when I'd say Kit is coming down the stairs. So Kit, you see that inside the room here, you don't need to make a check because you've seen dead bodies before, so you're a soldier. Mason and Sunil and Sybil have lifted the winch up off the stone pit, which is the source of where the horrifying wail is coming. It sounds like it's coming from deep down in that pit, but it is loud. And Sybil is rearing to look inside. So I will say, what does Kit immediately do? Because I know what Sybil's going to do, and I know that Mason and Sunil are holding the thing open. I want to get an immediate picture of what moves people are trying to make here.
Kit, as soon as he gets to like the bottom of the stairs and the doorway, he halts because he knows he's only good at range, and he knows what his effectiveness is limited to. But he readies his rifle and he points it at the well.
Okay.
He doesn't call out to the others. He doesn't distract them,
Cool.
but he's ready for anything.
So Sybil, you walk up to the edge of the well, and you're gonna look down inside of it.
Yep.
It is a 15-foot drop into stone and darkness. And I need you to make a sanity roll.
All right.
Hey.
Oh, very nice. A hard success, you say?
Mm-hmm. How much would it take to make that an extreme success?
A lot, I think.
Okay, damn.
At 90,
God,
with a
fun.
97, yeah, you need to drag that down to a 19. So that would take like that. That would be like a lot.
Bummer.
It's all right.
That's fine. I'll
That's-
take a hard success.
I'm just double checking. Okay, so you will take 4 points of sanity damage.
Okie dokie.
Oh man.
Ooh. I have to ask you a question. I need you to answer earnestly.
Okay.
How much research did Sybil herself extensively do into the Hilton Adams murders? She just heard about it. She didn't herself like look into like any of the old newspapers or such like, did she?
No, she didn't.
Okay, cool. So you never like looked at photos of previous victims.
No.
Cool.
Oh.
So,
Oh.
sitting at the bottom of the well is a creature of sorts that could be described as dozens of screaming human faces set into a thickly cylindrical, veiny, muscular, worm-like purple mass that is writhing and screaming at the bottom of the pit.
Ooh. Sybil, should look horrified. She is not. She looks amazed. She's like, ooh, this is very exciting to her. But she does step back. Okay, close it! Close it.
Mason,
Very
let
excited.
go.
Like, she's excited, but she's like, close it.
the lid boom slams down on top of the well, which I thought immediately silencing the continuous shrieking wail, as silence once again overtakes the room.
Was it worth it, Sybil?
It was amazing, actually.
Huh. Whew. Are you...
I feel okay.
Okay, you okay? And
Yeah, it was amazing, I think. Yeah.
wow. Looks at Mason. Mason?
Mason's just he's fucking frozen. He kind of like makes eye contact with you, and just kind of stares for a moment, and then like back to the hole. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. I don't want to know. And he turns and he walks towards the stairs.
Sunil leans
Which-
over to Sybil
yeah.
and is like, that means, tell me later when, you know.
Sybil nods. Takes a deep breath. She seems like really like jazzed, like she's really excited. Takes another look around the room. Like she's trying to just take it all in, like she's more interested in this than she was before, actually. Like this is fascinating.
And anyone who turns around, by the way, sees Kit standing there in the door with holding his rifle.
With his
I
rifle
pointedly have not
Yeah,
had Neil
lowered.
turn around
Yeah,
yet.
yeah. Yeah, no longer pointed at directly, it's just like lowered, yeah.
highly concerned.
Yeah,
Anything
Mason.
else?
I guess Mason turning around to see Kit, just kind of very weakly gives a wave. We looked at what was in the well, and Mason looks like he's about to throw up. Like he's going to leave.
Yeah, Kid just sort of jerks his head as in like go behind me, just go.
Okay, and he's gone. Mason left the room.
God, Sybil, like, actually, like, not even really, like, she just sort of looks up at Kit, waves, and then continues to look around the room. Like, she's just wants, like, I understand there's nothing for her to look for anymore. She's just, like, taking in symbols and everything else. Like, she's just trying to, like, imprint this onto her mind, because she knows,
Totally.
like, soon this will be a police scene, and they won't let her back in.
Yeah.
Totally.
Sunil has taken the mental note that Sybil's going to be, soaking this in for a while. He's not gonna go up the stairs. He's gonna turn around, he's gonna see Kit, and he's gonna have two thoughts. The first thought is gonna be like, oh no. And the second thought's gonna be like, thank you, but oh no. Like it's a little bit of both. Like a little bit of like, hey, on one hand, I didn't want you down here. On the other hand, I see you are prepared. On the third hand, if there were three, that was probably a terrifying thing to see. So like he's gonna walk over to Kit and he's gonna be like, I don't know if he's gonna touch him at this exact moment, but he is gonna go to the stairs and he's gonna sit on the bottom stair. He's not gonna go upstairs. Or is there like there's a door and then a space and then the stairs, right?
Yeah. A little like narrow hallway and then
a little narrow hallway. He's not going upstairs. He might go to the doorway, stand in the doorway in the case that Kit doesn't come in. If Kit moves back at all while Sybil is doing this, he's probably going to sit on the stairs and wait for Sybil to start coming up.
Kit sees Sunil pass, and he doesn't move. His rifle, the point is still sort of trained at the ground, ready to be brought up in case it needs to be shot, but sort of held at as much of ease as one can possibly have, held at the ground. And without turning to look at Sunil, he just says, "Is it safe?"
It seems as though whatever's down there won't come out as long as the lid is on, so relatively as safe as it could be, like I promised.
Thank you. Kit still is laser focused at the well and at the room and at Sybil, and just, I'm staying here until she's done.
Okay. I'll be right outside this door.
Thank you.
Whew. Sybil seems to have, like, it takes her another minute or so. Like, she's just really taking it all in. And a part of her knows, I should leave. All of my friends have left. Everyone is upset. That was a very loud scream. But I feel fine. Oh, no, I should go. Okay. So, finally, after another minute, she walks up, kind of looks at Kit and says, "It was safe. It was amazing. Everything's okay."
Kit sort of just looks at her, and he gives her the look, the Sullivan look, and just sort of, let's get out of here and we can talk about it later.
okay.
Yeah. And he sort of jerks his head up the stairs. Let's make tracks.
In which it has finally occurred to Sybil Cordova that maybe this was not the best decision. Oh, right.
Everyone ascends back up out of Juju House as you stepping back out into the cold night air, back out of Ransom Court. You can see that coming down the block is James being escorted by two cops. His right hand and part of his arm, like a little cut up. There's some blood trailing down his arm. The cops immediately call for Dr. Sullivan, just to take a look at his arm.
Yeah. Kit runs up, but then he pauses because he recognizes the look in James's eyes, and he pauses before he reaches out to touch him, and he says, "Will you let me take a look at that?"
James like thinks for a moment. It processes. Kit can see it processing in James's mind, as I'm sure he's seen many a time before eventually he just kind of blinks and it's like, oh, yeah, hey, Kit, hey.
Yeah.
And he just kind of slowly, very hesitantly holds out his arm to him.
Kit nods, and he gently takes it, and it's the hands of a surgeon and not a soldier, and he very carefully binds James's wounds. And as he does his work, and as he cleans the wounds, and as he checks over James everywhere else, he says, they're fine. Everyone else is fine. Everyone else is safe. Everyone else is safe.
Sybil.
She's safe.
James notably clenches. He's been shaking. He's been shaking since he put out his arm. He's never stopped shaking.
Yeah. Kit just sort of he's probably had like James's hand held in one of his, and he puts the second hand over James's hand, and just it's over. The safe. I promise, the safe. You're safe. You're safe too.
At the mention of that, there's a noticeable twinge in his facial expression, almost mad to hear that, angry to hear that. That he's safe.
You came back. You went over and you came back. Yeah. Kid sort of nods and sort of like hesitantly reaches out a hand and sort of puts a hand on his shoulder and squeezes, and just, you came back. You came back to us. You came back to all of us. You'll be fine. As fine as anyone can be.
He nods, and he kind of snaps his fingers once or twice, like almost trying to come back to reality, as he's just, for the first time since he's come back, since he's been escorted back, he locks eyes with you, Kit. Where is she? Where's Sybil? Where is
Kit,
she?
Kit just very slightly, steps a little bit askance, so that I presume Sybil is just right there, right behind him, right there, and he just sort of lets go and just lets him have his moment.
Sybil immediately runs over and reaches up to touch his face. Well, she waits. She kind of hesitates. She doesn't waits a second.
He takes a knee. He lowers himself. Just wraps his arms around her and just pulls her close. It's not gentle. He's usually gentle. It's not. He's holding her as close as he can. He just doesn't want to let go.
She just embraces him back as hard as she can, and then she kisses him on the forehead and then on the lips and on the neck, and just, it's okay. I'm here. You're here. Neither of us went anywhere. It's okay.
And slowly, over time, as time passes, he takes a couple minutes, but he just slowly relaxes till eventually his shoulders slump again, and he just, hands on her shoulders, pulls her back, looks her dead in the eyes. You okay?
Of course.
You promise?
I promise.
He pulls her close one last time, gives her a kiss. Slowly, just kind of raises himself. He knows the state that he's in. He's mostly back.
A lot of you standing in the street outside Ransom Court, the sounds of police sirens wailing in the nearby vicinity as the last of the wagons carrying the cultists are driven away. A silence fills the street, and a lot of you are just standing there as light snowfall descends from the clouds above, settles down over the city of New York. We're gonna go to break. So we'll be back in a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. And we look forward to continuing with this in just a little bit. So don't go anywhere.
Jabberwocky by Lewis Carroll. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the momraths outgrabe. Beware the Jabberwock, my son, the jaws that bite, the claws that catch. Beware the Jubjub bird, and shun the frumious Bandersnatch. He took his vorpal sword in hand. Long time the manxome foe he sought. So rested he by the tum-tum tree, and stood a while in thought. And, as in uffish thought he stood, the Jabberwock with eyes of flame came whiffling through the tulgey wood, and burbled as it came. 1, 2, 1, 2, and through the vorpal blade went snick-a-snack. He left it dead, and with its head he went galumphing back. And hast thou slain the Jabberwock? Come to my arms, my beamish boy. O frabjous day, Cthulhu, Calais, he chortled in his joy. 'Twas brillig, and the slithy toves did gyre and gimble in the wabe. All mimsy were the borogoves, and the momraths outgrabe.
Hello and welcome back. So, we're gonna dive into the immediate aftermath of these circumstances in a little bit. Some things that we should resolve right now. One of those things is Kit as a doctor. We talked about this on the break. You can go ahead and make the checks you would need to make to see if you can restore any hit points back to James. So that's going to be a first aid check first. Okay, so Mason, so James, you get 1 hit point back so far, and now give me a medicine check. Hell yeah! Now roll. So now roll a d3.
Me?
Yeah, I'd say the doctor rolls it. Nice. Doesn't another 3 hit points back to you. With that in mind, I believe otherwise you are now going to heal 1 hit point at the start of every day.
I'm back at full health.
Yeah.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. That's
Lost.
1 plus 3 plus 1. I was at 6. My full health is 11.
You're right. Well, yeah, you're right. Because then the start. So you're good. So yeah,
It was like I'm gonna doctor the shit out of you. Sorry.
Kit Sullivan, you see to James's wounds. Obviously, the one that where he punched through glass, but also the various scrapes, bite marks, and weird lesions on his body from his assailants. You patch him up nice and good. Now. So we're gonna actually kind of like describe a couple things. Just for, I feel like that fits the pacing rather well. But I'm gonna actually prompt you guys for answers for a couple of these, so you can just kind of tell me one way or the other. What do you think? Gang's probably gonna need like 2 days of just nothing and hanging around their hotel to recuperate. Like,
Poole did say to come talk.
Well, no, ignoring that stuff, ignoring the obligations of like Poole. Yeah, and sorry, Kristen, did you have something you want to say?
No, I was like, no, 2 days seems reasonable.
2 days? Yeah, okay, cool.
2 days seems fine.
2 days by yourselves, cool. So obviously, the next day, Poole calls everybody over, basically kind of debriefs you guys, and gives you some important information, primarily since, caught up in the moment, if this wasn't shared already. Poole shares that the lockbox that was in the basement does in fact contain possessions belonging to victims and missing people that were most of the victims are largely attributed to the Hilton Adams murders. So that is proof that the cult had something to do with it. And so that's probably going to play very strongly in Hilton's favor. Additionally, through the lockup tonight, they can't confirm this 100%, but they're pretty sure they have the 3 identities of people in custody that are the assailants who murdered Jackson, by interrogating various cultists, some of which were less insane than others, all of them thoroughly insane, but some less. Gave the names of, there were 3 men who were hired to kill Jackson, or not hired, they were assigned to kill Jackson. A man by the name of Colm Doyle, a man named Iregi Kipkimboy, and a man named Jimmy Japleting. So these 3 members of the Bloody Tongue are in custody. They are being charged with the murder of Jackson Elias, and the police is currently looking into connections to the larger affairs in general. Poole also, much to his chagrin, is going to allow you to hold on to the things you took from Juju House, if only because they aren't as impactful to his case as the other things, and he's willing to let this one slide because this is going to be a weird case anyway. So in his mind, the less weird things overall probably the better for the public eye. He's letting you keep everything else in your own possession at your discretion. Is there anything else I'm missing from that? Captain Robson's probably going to get off from this scot-free. But you know, that's to be expected with matters such as these. There's no evidence that suggests Robson was involved any deeper than potential being bribed to look the other way. And if pressed on the matter, he's probably just gonna say, "I thought it was a speakeasy," which may or may not be true in his perception. But you know, that's one of those things that, in your eye, Robson's still gonna be a corrupt cop out there. But at least he is, you know, he's not actively fighting the justice to come. Let's see, is there anything else I'm missing that would be relevant from the immediate debriefing? Oh, fuck, yeah, the thing in the pit. Which Poole is largely... his officers that were there, that were down in the basement that came running up, have all been hospitalized into mental wards. Unfortunately, that one shell-shocked looking soldier, police officer, was actually found dead this morning from suicide. Unfortunately. So Poole is actually very dead serious about this matter of, he knows you guys went down there. He wants, and through talking to the cultists, a name has come up a few times. Potentially in connection with the thing in the pit. A lot of the cultists have referred to what that thing might be as the Chakota. So Poole, having not seen it, only having heard the screams, having seen the effect it had on his men, is kind of at a loss of how to deal with this. On the one hand, he's just happy to like board up the shop and walk away. On the other hand, he would love to deal with that, but he's afraid of what's going to happen if he opens the pit. So he's unsure what to do in the situation. If anyone has any suggestions for Poole, or have any ideas, you are welcome to list them.
I had a thought.
Yeah.
And that thought was, so we said we were going to lay low for the next 2 days, just kind of chill, you know?
Yeah.
I'm gonna let other people say their thing first, and then I'll.
Sure.
Because that's what I'm gonna. Yeah.
If Poole were to ask a one James O'Connell what to do about the thing in the pit, now James hadn't seen thing in the pit, but if he were to have asked him, probably would have said something along the lines of, destroy it, collapse the pit, throw some dynamite down it, I don't care what the fuck you do, get rid of it.
Mason's idea was burning it.
Yeah.
Kit's idea was filling that shit with concrete.
Yeah, I think a blending of ideas is what Poole's getting here, which is he's going, which is essentially destroy it in the pit and then fill in the pit with concrete.
Seal it away.
Sealed away underneath Juju House forever, and then just board up the building and clean out the shop. You know. Yeah. Like Poole says, he has connections in like the city administration. He can pull some strings and he can make sure that storefront will be condemned and like nobody will be allowed to buy that property ever. He will pull as many he'll put it through as much red tape as he can possibly manage with his connections to make sure that nobody is in that building ever again, with the exception of the people who live in the vicinity. Are any of you volunteering to do this yourselves or no? To kill it, I should say.
It actually may bring Mason more peace to confirmation that it's fucking dead. The question is, would I have to roll another sanity check if they open it up because he's experienced this before? Or is it something that it has to be experienced several times on different occasions? Actually,
I'm going to check the wording of the Chakota's whale. which yes, Chakota, Chakota, Chakota. Chakota. Yeah, let's see. I believe. Yeah, the wording says that it provokes sanity loss when you hear it for the first time. So you don't have to roll sanity checks for hearing it again, essentially.
Okay. Yeah, I guess Mason just says, let's make sure that the hatch is closed before we try to kill it. Otherwise, everyone on the fucking block's gonna hear that thing again. Mason would like to know that it's dead.
Yeah, and Kit would accompany with a high caliber firearm as backup.
Okay. Yeah, we can actually pretty easily gloss over this. Because I take it you're gonna go with Poole can get dynamite. Like, that's a thing he can get as a police officer. He can requisition explosives, even just fucking making Molotovs with bootleg liquor in storage. I'll say Poole will help. Like, this is like not police records. This is off the books. This is like, okay, cool. Let's go there again tonight. I can get some dynamite. We'll drop in the pit. I can get some bootleg liquor. We'll make some Molotovs. Throw it down. I think the intention here for everybody is to not actually look in the pit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least it is for Mason. Mason don't want to look down there again.
Yeah.
So Neil will trust whatever Sybil tells him as the only
Yeah.
thing he really needs to know.
Yeah.
Molotovs would be best.
Yeah.
If you throw down dynamite, I don't know where the sewer system is.
Poole
I don't even
can
wanna
actually
risk it.
Poole can actually tell you that because he can get access to city records. Juju House is that cellar is 20 feet below the store, and that pit is 15 feet deep. Sewers are not a concern. That is deep in the ground, and he feels like if dynamite is used, if you don't want to use it, that's totally fine. But like he just says, if it is used, it's not gonna like blow a hole into the sewers or into the subway. Yeah.
Then by all fucking means, blow it to bits.
Cool.
I can throw things into the pit.
No.
but
No.
Please, Sybil.
fine.
So, who would be going to do that? Kit, Mason, Lieutenant Poole is going as well. James is also going.
He would volunteer if Lieutenant Poole would take him.
Yeah, he'll take you. You will have to roll a sanity roll though, because you have not heard the screams before. So let's go ahead and get that out of the way of rolling a sanity check, just for James. Okay.
Oh, God.
No, I'll spend a couple luck points. Can I do that?
Yeah, on sanity checks you can spend luck points on sanity checks. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I'll spend just enough.
I believe you only take 1 point. Yeah, you take 1 point of sanity damage. From a success, which is good. You're at a 45 now, so that just means that you'll have to lose. You would need to lose at this point 9 or more sanity points in a single day, but you're fine now. It's a new day, you don't have to worry about anything. So again, the music does not fit the vibe, but this is something that's easily glossed over because this thing can't get out of the pit. And you guys never looked down into
God.
it. Yeah, this thing is can't get out, but in the dark of the night, Poole and Mason, James, Kit go into the basement of Juju House and open the pit till you hear the screaming wails and just throw down hellfire into the pit. Molotovs, dynamite. I'm not going to actually ask for any throw checks, even though that in combat, because it's one thing to like throw a Molotov or dynamite in combat. This is light drop into the pit, light drop, like, kind of like huck downward at an angle. No rolls are made. You guys could kill this thing. No combat because it can't do anything to you. The wails, the screams of whatever is in that pit. Until it no longer moves, and a few more bombardments later, I think Poole offers, no one look in the pit. We'll just close the lid for now. come back later. Or sorry, I'll get people to come back later. We will fill this with cement. But if it stops screaming, in his mind, probably dead.
Not our problem anymore. It's gone. Eesh.
Yeah, so over the next couple days, you know, you guys some downtime to yourselves. Obviously, in the aftermath, comforting for those of you who took a mental hit, comforting yourselves. We're so close to the investigator development phase, but not quite there yet. But maybe we'll get there today. We'll see. Does Kit have any interactions with Aaron in the next few days, like over the next 2 days, or is he mostly?
God, it probably took him like from the initial shock, it took him a day to decompress. It probably took him a day to get back to her, which she was really fucking pissed about. But she was happy that he was fine, and he would have also talked to his father, since by that point Aaron would have been like, yeah, Kit was involved in the police raid, so they would have spoken to each other. I'm not sure whether he probably would have gone over in person just to be like, I'm fine, everything's fine, and just But yeah, no, Aaron was not happy, glad that he let her know that he was doing a thing, but also like,
yeah,
why are you doing this to me?
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say after those 2 days, on the 27th, New York is once again bombarded by a big fucking snowstorm, and once again kind of shuts down the city. It fucks some things up. It makes it hard to travel. It's a big dense snowstorm. So you know, you guys have a lot of time to spend in your hotel amongst yourselves, kind of recuperating. Sybil, you get a phone call one of these days. I say on the 27th. I think it's a good time for this. You get a phone call. It's from Bradley Gray. You know, Erica Carlisle's assistant. Her counsel basically just informs you that Erica is putting the books up for auction from the Carlisle collection. She got them appraised. Funny enough, he mentions that there was a client, a potential offer that came in not yesterday, a couple days ago, before like the auction was like legit, like a collector that Erica had put her feelers out to, who has now since rescinded the bid and is no longer interested in buying the books. So there's, but informs you that, you know, if you want to give your hand at trying to buy these books at auction, you certainly can. The starting value of these books is going to be somewhere around $2,000.
No problem.
For the whole collection.
No problem. I'm getting those books.
Split, do you have something you want to say?
Where's our current value?
Sybil's okay. So so here's the thing. This is a thing that's actually going to be an actual financial situation to resolve, because Sybil, your spending value, you have I think 1,800 in cash, but more in assets. So this is like one of those like those expenditures that you're going to have to pull from your assets to cover, and draw from your which, yeah. I will ask, like, are you in a particular rush to get out of town? No?
No.
Okay. So, yeah, so if Sybil's not in a particular rush, she's willing to, like, buy through this. Erica Carlisle's not going to be accepting any offers until she's gotten word back from anyone she's putting her feelers out to, which would be in 8 days, a little over a week, is when the auction will officially, she'll accept a final offer on an auction. And that will be that. Starting value is at 2,000. I'm going to assume that Sybil is going to want to bid on these books.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, cool. How much does she want to drop on these books?
I think she'll start at 4,000 and see like.
Ooh, okay, yeah. No, that's a guaranteed win right there. If you're gonna drop that much money on the auction, that's gonna be it.
Shit.
4,000. Okay. Then yeah, you can just deduct $4,000 from your asset. Yeah. That's not cash you have on hand. You're glad you have like a little over a week, so Sybil can get things like liquidate some of her assets. You know, sell some belongings, get some money from getting rid of some things. You can easily remove $4,000 from your cash, because you have like what? How much money in your assets?
I had 18,000.
Okay, cool. So you're not
yeah.
18,000.
So,
Cool.
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
Have that,
We'll just
so-
deduct that solely from your assets and not like dip into your cash value because we'll just see that
Okay.
your it covered. Well, hold on. How much cash do you have on hand?
1,000. Wait, okay. I'm bad at numbers.
So the
Um,
cash what the cash value is like 1,800, right?
Yes.
Okay. So
And then my assets, are still 180,000. That's what my assets say.
your assets or your cash is 1,800.
Assets is 180,000. Cash is 1,800.
Oh, 180,000 you said. Assets is 180,000.
Yes.
Gotcha, I misheard. Okay, cool. So yeah, I mean, you can let's see. So from your you would need to deduct 2,200. Yeah, so we're just gonna call it an even dip in. I'm doing the math of how much would you have to dip into your cash value, and then how much would you have to cover left over from your assets to reduce your cash to absolute zero, and then from there we can adjudicate if you want to put yourself back to 1,800. So let's see, that's 4,000 minus 1,800, which is 2,200. So that way you need to take 2,200 out of your assets, which will bring you down to 0. And then
Okay.
yeah. So then you can just. I was double checking my math. So yeah, you can deduct 4,000 total from your assets, and that'll bring your cash value back to where it was at 1,800. So just subtract assets by 4,000. That totally works. Sorry to make
Hang
it
on, I
really
have to-
Do you own
complicated.
any businesses? Have you ever thought about that?
Why would? Okay, first of all, this is the Cordova money, which I don't know if you heard, but the rest of the Cordovas died mysteriously. So I don't know if I want to invest in too many businesses because
I heard. You told me plenty of times, but have you ever considered perhaps investing is better for us overall?
I mean, I have heard of, in over about 100 years from now, GameStop's going to be big. So
Oh my god.
You ever thought about
Anyway.
investing in Dogecoin, Sybil Cordova?
So
Okay.
anyway, yeah, great, cool. Cool. So then in a week and a half, you will, and we're gonna address this. Time is a nebulous thing right now. You will actually win the Carlisle auction. You will absolutely get all the books from that safe. For that much money.
Magic motherfucker.
We'll talk about those implications later. But more importantly, in that 2 days time span that we've established, I need to ask you things, and this can be even group consultations about the things you got from Juju House, like primarily the book, the mask, the weird stuff, anything. If there's any conversations that you want to have about that, now is the time to do them. And if you want to spend some time reading through Africa's Dark Sects, you can do that too.
Can you?
Is that what the book is?
Yeah, the book is titled Africa's Dark Sects.
James is probably gonna read that.
yeah, I know Sybil would want to read it. So
Kit wants to take it back up to Harvard because he wants to go to Boston for reasons. TM.
Yeah. I mean, you can easily. I mean, that's when you got some time, a little bit of time on your hand before you got to before you get to go back up to Boston. So in the 2 days that we just established are in the gap, then is it apt for me to say that James and Sybil read it together in their hotel room together?
Probably.
What was all the stuff that we got? I know we got
Yeah.
Jackson stuff. We got a mask and a book, but was there anything else?
Yeah, there were a few things in there. Hold on, let me get the list back up.
Okey doke, got a choke.
Yeah, down in the alcove there was that really weird wooden mask Sybil found, that copper bowl, that carved scepter, that weird headband, the marine chronometer, and then
You said the
book.
marine chronometer was not on. I spaced out during that segment. I don't know if you said what time zone
I
it was
did.
in.
It is set to GMT, Greenwich Mean Time, so it's 4 hours ahead of the current time. So it's your time,
Thank you,
Sunil.
thank you. Yeah, I was about to say Sunil's gonna look at that and immediately go, "Oh, the correct time." No, I'm sorry.
Mother's having lunch. Anyway. Yeah.
I'll just ask this question. When Mason looks at that mask, does it have like the same pull to look into it like the gold mask did?
Let's first establish a very clear fact. I think this is actually important for the entire group.
Okay, sorry.
No,
Sorry,
you're
yeah.
fine. I'm glad you. No, because it is a totally valid question. I just want to get the group consensus on this. We've established so far that Sybil and James are going to be looking at that book together that they found. The rest of the items, like, does the group have like a tight hold on them, or is it like kind of like we're gonna keep them in XY room and people can come by and examine them, but like, you know, like keep an eye on things? What is the group consensus of how you want to treat these items you found in Juju House?
Might I suggest, since we've decided that the Cordova O'Connell bedroom is the meeting bedroom, that generally speaking, we keep the stuff in there, and if somebody does want to look at it, they have, like, because I don't want to move it between rooms, because then that gets like really...
Yeah, makes sense.
There's a chance of something happening.
Yeah, and you know, James.
And also not walking a staff down the hallway, you know? Sorry.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Okay.
Yeah,
so
let's
then,
have a little study party, my friends.
Okay. Yeah. If you guys want to see if you can glean anything from these. What do you want to start with? I mean, Mason, you just mentioned the mask. What do you want to do with that?
Well, Mason will pick up the wooden mask.
Oh yeah, you
and
asked me a
kind
question
of,
about the It's not like it. So the golden mirror mask had that reflective surface on the interior edge. This mask has like a wicker kind of like basket. It's like essentially like there's the weird heads and faces on top, and you like pull, and it has below that is like this like wicker face fitting that you pull that over, and like it fits like, you know, it kind of like it should sit like, you know, over your neck. You wear it like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I guess like the big question is there like that pulling urge to put it on, kind of like how the golden mask was? Is like when I stared at like the reflection, stared back, there was an urge to put on the mask during Peru. Like, is there like that same feeling there? Or?
No, you don't feel any like subconscious like tug to put it on. Moreover, if anyone wants to make a Cthulhu Mythos roll on this thing, they are welcome to. And anyone who feels confident that they could succeed at either a regular botany check or a hard natural world check, you may also give this a spin.
I could spend luck points.
That's
could,
really...
if you
You
wanted to.
could.
Y'all, should I spend?
Do it. Do it.
My wife is telling me to do it.
If you want to spend the luck points, man, go for it.
I wish I could give you my luck points, man.
How many luck points is that?
9.
9?
You need 9 luck points.
I can spend 9 luck points. I think I'll spend 9 luck points.
Okay.
Mason Allen, you 99 rolling fuck. I love you.
Bro, correct me if I'm wrong here. Did I hear you make an audible groan as I mentioned some kind of botany or natural world check?
So I groaned because you know how I built this sheet.
Yes.
You are aware how I built this sheet. Every time you mention any random science, I have to go and check to see if I put random points in it in this sheet.
Yeah.
No, he does not have anything in botany. He has the base in natural world, though, so there's no reason not to roll it.
Sure, why not? Give it a go. See if you somehow get a really high good roll, or I should say,
Who knows?
Who knows?
If you get a good roll in natural world, I'm keeping my luck.
Yeah, no, never mind.
Okay, yeah, you would need him to roll like a 10 or lower to succeed at the check, so that's okay. This is weird to bring up because I truly don't know. Actually, no, I was gonna say I don't know how James would know this, but no, he fucking read Mythos books in the Carlisle Library. So like the scant knowledge you have so far, the 4 faces on the top of the mask seem to be related. Seems to line up with the extremely vague. I'm boggled that you succeeded at this. With luck points. The
luckiest man in the world.
The scant, you know, in the books you read, catching extremely obtuse glimpses on your skim, read through the books. These four... The mask represents a combination of four entities that are obliquely referred to as outer gods. And you think you can put names to the extremely vague depictions you read. Nodens, Azathoth, Shub-Niggurath, and Yog-Sothoth as depictions on the mask of these strange entities known as the outer gods.
That means a lot to me, the player.
Yeah.
To James,
Right.
Yeah, to James,
it's vague
to James is like a
bullshit.
vague line. Like, this lines up with those weird descriptions I saw in that book.
And James would communicate that to the others.
Sunil, every time somebody has been doing something, like telling him a single thing in relation to anything, has been just writing down words. You see him kind of like squint for a minute, trying to write these names because
Yeah.
those are sounds.
Yeah. Don't worry, Atlas. I'll give you the spelling later. I'll give you the...
Azetoth.
Already incorrect. We keep moving on.
This
Anyway.
is James.
Listen, we
Yeah.
just said that James remembers the
Yeah,
name.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can't expect him to
Oh,
remember
no,
the
yeah, you're
spelling.
good. You're good. For sure.
Oh yes, Azzy.
Cool. Yeah. So that's the strange mask that you find.
Okay.
Do you want to do anything else with that mask?
Do anything else, he says.
Do anything else? I was debating putting the mask on to see what happens because now I have a 63 instead of the, 20 the 30 sanity that I had when I was just a young prostitute.
How many luck points do you have?
I got 97 luck points.
Go for it.
All right, yeah, I think I'll put on.
I'm sorry, Chad. He leaned over and opened his eyes wide, and then went back to reading.
So what you want to put on the mask?
You sounded way too excited about that. Fuck it, man. Let's put on the mask. Does anyone
Okay.
stop Mason while he's putting on the mask?
Yes.
Killjoys, killjoys.
Here's the thing. Kit would be like, "Don't you dare put on that mask." James is like, "Now hold on."
Kid saw
Are you
what
sh-
happened. I know what happened last time.
Now hold on.
Dumb fucker.
Sybil reaching for the mask with her tiny
No.
little hand.
Sunil
Smack
like
her
pushes
hand.
Sybil's hand.
James immediately smacks her hand.
It's like
No.
Mason. You might want to listen to him. He said "fucker." He doesn't always say "fucker."
Mason, are you sure you want to put on that mask?
When I looked at a mask last time, it stared back at me, and this one didn't do that. So I'm.
Give me one good reason, please.
Why do you want to put on the mask?
I don't know. I thought it would be a pretty. I got curious.
Have you stuck your hand in the mask?
Have you stuck your hand in the mask?
Have you stuck an object in the mask?
Mason
Don't
sticks
Stuck
hand
anything
in
in the
mask.
mask?
Mason sticks hand right, like flops around like the little like wicker like kind of like interior and netting of the face area. I mean, it feels like there's like feather and like wood, and it feels like a very like wooden mask. Thump around in there.
Mason, I'm not saying that I don't. I'm not saying that I don't trust you and I don't trust your capabilities, but you remember what happened last time, and you remember what Mr. Haas said on that train about that worm in his head. Please give me a good reason. Please.
It might give me a better understanding of what we're going to be facing overall. And if somebody else wants to take that, then they can, but...
We'll be right here.
Okay.
We'll be right here. We're right here with you.
Like,
If anything happens, I trust you to take it off me.
like even on the statement of if anyone else, like even James just kind of like looks away.
Mason breathes. I'm not afraid of you. I'm not afraid of you. And he slips the mask on.
Okay, yeah. No, like it's pretty easy, like loose fitting. There's no actual like way in the mask, like actually like affix it to hold it in place. You just kind of like drape it over your head and like let the like basket like collar that hides your face kind of like slips over. As soon as it is pulled over your head, the collar shrinks and tightens to your neck. Constricts all around your face, holding it tightly in a locked, agonized grimace to all onlookers.
Is it choking?
It's not choking you, but it is firmly clasping to your face. It holds itself firmly there.
Ooh, okay.
I punch Mason in the face.
You punch Mason in the face?
Just,
I punch Mason in the face.
Okay, hold on real quick. I need to... How hard?
Hard enough to knock him out.
Okay, I need to think...
get to see the cool thingy.
No, I need to think about this. Okay, cool. So like, you can't, Mason, you can't like see in like the mask. Like it's everything's obscured. So, James, if you want to just give me just a brawl roll against Mason, Mason, I'm not going to give you the opportunity to fight back. Do this from your combat page specifically, so because it'll.
Okay.
Or no, sorry, I wanted to know. Okay, we'll let that success hold over, but go to the brawl. Just find what the damage dice is for your brawl, and let me pull it up too so I can refer to this.
I think it's 1d4.
I'm looking right now. Ooh, yeah, you do have a hard punch, don't you? This is it's a D3 plus. Yeah, it's a D3. So you're gonna roll a D3 and a D4 together.
Okay.
If this rolls really high, I'm not gonna. Hold on. Let me just say, if this rolls really high, I'm not going to qualify this as a major wound. So there's not going to be like a. This is getting punched. I just want to know mechanically. Okay, so it's 3. Mason, you take 3 damage. I'm not gonna just. Okay. Overall, I'm not gonna track this as damage that's going to have to heal over time because this is. I mean, you take a punch, you take a punch. It's not gonna be like a big fucking deal. You punch Mason in the face. He's still up. Mason or anyone else, do you attempt to take the mask off?
No. Mason kind of backs up.
Mason doesn't. Mason doesn't. But does anyone else rush forward to try and take the mask off? There's I'm just knowing the immediate count here so I can get an idea because things are about to happen. So
Kit is watching. If he sees any more signs of distress, he's gonna rush forward and try to take the mask off. But nothing terrible has happened yet, and he's gonna try his best to trust Mason on this.
Is anyone gonna stop James?
Sybil puts her hand on his shoulder and tries like no.
It's like Split. How well is Sybil holding James?
James will look back, see that it's Sybil, and then not fight her.
Okay. Sunil's fumbling for a pocket knife, so whatever's going on.
yeah. Kit sort of just like nods at Sunil, like keep it ready, like fuck. God.
He's like, I have a multi-tool. Fuck.
So, knowing this, the Mason, after 15 seconds, the mask does not lift, it does not remove, but you feel something. It is an extremely uncomfortable sensation. No one else in the room sees it, but you feel it, even though you can't obviously see this part of yourself. Your pupils are dilating. They're getting wider. And they're defying the actual biological processes of your body because your pupils are widening to fully fill to fully fill your eye sockets.
I'm about to see Cthulhu. I'm about to see his ass.
Nyarlathotep, to be specific.
Now I'm gonna. Okay, I will let you choose this decision.
Okay.
There has to be a D4 roll made. Do
Okay.
you want to roll it? Because this is what you are experiencing, or do you want the keeper to roll? This will change fundamentally nothing. I'm just asking you, whose hands do you want to roll this dice from?
I think the second I put on the mask, I gave that right up to the world. So you go ahead
Okay.
and roll it.
You're sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
I trust you.
If Mason dies, I swear to God, guys.
I want to be optimistic. I'm very nervous that the one time I made Mason bold, it killed him.
This isn't the one time. Mason's been bold before, but like.
Okay. Mason,
Oh God, he had the hand on the forehead. Oh no.
First things first, I need you to roll a sanity check.
Yes, sir. I'm gonna use a fucking luck point. That's
Okay, luck point. Sure, that's fine. Luck point is okay.
Matter of fact, yeah, just a luck point.
Just a luck point,
Maybe
yeah.
like use like 20 luck points. I don't know.
So a singular
I
luck
could.
point to make it a success. I mean, that wouldn't change anything. Levels of success have no impact on sanity checks.
Okay.
Yeah. He was really shaking those dice. He was really shaking those dice.
I tried really hard. I tried really hard to fucking bring you out of it.
Hey man, it's
No,
it's okay.
that's-
Hey, whatever happens, happens. I got really adventurous in the moment, so if something happens, it
really-
happens. It's okay.
Okay,
It
so
makes sense, but
Mason,
It's okay. This will be oddly poetic. Yes, Sander.
what happens?
you say that shit.
Okay, hold on. I'm gonna turn the music down a little bit.
Dude, this fucking music. What the fuck?
Your pupils expand to fill your entire eye socket. And you feel your vision expand in more ways than one.
What's that mean?
It means you begin to experience a vision. Give me one moment. I'm scrolling to this specific vision.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Double check what I rolled. Okay. You find yourself on the edge of a pool of bubbling primordial muck, out of which eyes, lips, limbs, grotesque sexual organs continually boil and recede out of this pool. It is oily and glistens with a polychromatic sheen. Occasionally, small obscene entities capable of self-locomotion arise out of the pool and frantically attempt to swim, run, or fly to the shore. Most fail as great, muddy tentacles form to drag them back under. But a few reach you and run past. Most are disturbingly eyeless. Suddenly, the shore begins to sink. The pool advances from all sides. You find yourself on a small island, rapidly shrinking even as you watch. When the muck reaches your feet, thousands and thousands of eyes sprout from the pool and all simultaneously swivel and look directly at you, into you. Then you immediately snap back out of the vision. I'm not done yet, so let me finish. And just change the track once more.
Oh. Oh fuck.
You are left as you come back. You take 4 points of sanity damage.
Oh damn.
Had you failed, I would have rolled a D100. That could have possibly immediately killed you. I instead rolled a D10. Anyway, so you take 4 points of sanity damage. You are left as you come back and snap back to consciousness. with a terrifying sense that the thing you just witnessed is somehow in you and in all living things. Roll a d10 for me, Mason.
Sure. Yeah, you got it. Oh shit. /RD10.
Oh
no. You may add that number to your Cthulhu Mythos skill. and reduce your sanity max by 10.
Dude, 81 max sanity? I fuck with it. I don't actually.
As you snap out of it, and the vision comes to an end, the mask immediately releases its hold on you.
Sunil,
James
who has been
snatches that shit.
I was about to say
One or the other.
I was gonna say Sunil, who has been like fumbling for this pocket knife, like sees the thing loosen, sees James go toward it, goes behind James, has the knife like up behind James as he rips it off. He's like, what's going what is going on?
Snatches the mask off of fucking Mason, throws it to Sunil.
What? Throws it on the bed, like, what the fuck?
Did one of you fucking hit me?
James did.
Sorry. Hey, fucking closed around your neck. Are you okay?
I'm fine. I think I just met God.
What did you see?
Kit rolls
What?
his eyes.
What did you see?
I think I just met God. Whatever it is, it's in me and it's in all of us.
What do you mean?
It's kind of hard to explain. Maybe my player will just say that he relays all the information of what the vision just said to.
Yeah.
Are
Yeah,
Mason's
that's what I
eyes
do.
still fucked?
No, they're back to normal.
Okay, never mind.
Okay.
Yeah, no, they're good now. His eyes are back to normal. You guys never saw them do anything weird. So when the mask comes off, looks visibly shaken, but otherwise physically nothing is wrong with him.
Nobody put on the fucking mask.
No, Sybil, no.
No. First,
Like-
there was visions of a pyramid and the maggots and everything, and now it's visions of this. What is it with masks?
I don't know.
Are you
but
all right? Are you
I-
okay, Mason?
Honestly, I feel fine for the most part. That was fucking weird. Oh, that was so weird.
Okay.
I feel fine.
Sure, you're okay.
Yeah, I'm totally.
Fuck, somebody give him some water. Fuck.
Yeah.
Of course.
He only
Xander,
drinks half the glass. Yeah, I know.
Xander, am I okay? Like,
I
is
mean,
Mason okay?
I rolled a d10 and you got a 4. You did not suffer anything. You did not trigger any full-on any other adverse effects. Yeah, shaken, but you good.
Shaken, but not stirred.
Show's over. Go home, everyone.
Goodbye, everybody.
But yeah, Mason kind of looks at the mask. It's like, I told you I wasn't afraid of you, motherfucker. And just
God.
sits back down and drinks his fucking water.
So a thing has come to mind for me. Because Sunil never saw the crawling one. Sunil wasn't in Peru.
Yep.
And the weirdest shit Sunil saw was whatever the fuck was going on with Lester Goodman. That's the first time he's seen something super weird outside of a dream state.
Mm-hmm.
He's kind of just like if somebody's going towards the mask, he's kind of like, no.
Yeah.
Like,
So I think you guys are choosing to keep that mask on a bit of a lockdown now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably should, because otherwise Sybil's gonna grab it.
No.
Sybil, no.
Absolutely fucking not.
He's fine.
No.
So I think that roughly summarizes how that experience largely translates. But yeah, Mason, nothing else adverse is happening to you. You lucky son of a bitch.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I tell you what,
So-
if it wasn't for Jimbles and a Trombo,
Fucked.
I would have been fucked.
Fuck
I would've been
off.
Thank you, Jimbles.
So,
Thank you,
let-
Jimbles.
So I'm just looking at
Makes
something really quickly. Yeah, okay. So there's 2 more items among the collection here that actually would benefit from a Cthulhu Mythos roll. Mason, you want to take those? To see if you
As a matter of
just for
fact,
anything? Yeah, sure.
no.
God damn it, my internet crapped out for the briefest of a second, so I started, so as a matter of fact,
Is it
stream's still up, but like, yeah, that was as a matter
Yeah,
of
so
fact.
you want me to roll Cthulhu
I mean, this
Mythos
is just
check?
for that copper bowl with weird runes carved into it, and the headband of gray metal. These are just for like seeing if you can discern any information about them. If you want to make Cthulhu Mythos rolls on those items, you totally can give that a go.
For sure.
Yeah.
Of course.
Hey!
Mason's like, I've seen God and now I understand everything.
I've seen God, I've seen eyes, I've seen appendages on a
this will
tiny
apply
island.
to the yeah. So the success will apply to the headband, which again, truly I have no idea. This is such an ephemeral skill because it's like, yeah, no idea how Mason would know this, but he got a success, so therefore he can discern this. That gray headband, which is covered with those like various cuneiform like characters. So I'm not gonna mince words to you here. I have no
Okay.
way to justify how Mason knows this, so I'm just going to describe what the knowledge is, and y'all can establish your own theories for how Mason can recognize this. The cuneiform-like writing on the headband is Senzar, the lost language of Atlantis. And the headband is some sort of protection device related to an entity known as Nodens, which when worn, protects against creatures called night gaunts.
Ooh.
No idea how you know this, so we're just gonna bypass that.
Actually, hold on. Aphrodite is a Greek god, right? Like it was Aphrodite's apostle.
You know
that's
what? I accept
Yep.
this. I accept that. I accept that. There was, in fact, a Greek theme. I will accept this. The rest you got from like the weird little book snippets you read here and there. But like
Yeah.
with the group. But like, okay, yeah, fuck it. I like that. I like that. I like that. That's good. Okay, cool.
Mason's just got Greek stuff like just seeping through him.
Jesus fucking Christ.
If anyone wants to try their hand at the failed Cthulhu Mythos roll for the other item, you're welcome to give it a go to see if you can get
Fucking
anything
let's
about the other
go.
item. Yeah.
I have a fucking 4.
I have
Might
a
as well.
2, so
Let's go. Let's give it a go. Let's give it a try.
Baby! Woo!
Spicy.
Ah, dog.
You know, if it's no consequence, like I mean, shrug.
Yeah, no,
might
there's
as
no
well,
consequence
right?
for
Yeah, let's
for
just do it.
discerning.
God.
Eh,
Yeah.
what I
Okay.
thought.
That makes sense.
might
Yeah,
as
so
well.
the runes on the burnished copper bowl, you know, you can't really make heads or tails of that right now. Okay. Yeah. You want to talk about the Sybil James? You want to talk about the book Africa's Dark Sects?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Hold on. Gotta resolve the Mythos tome rules again. 1 second.
It is
Okay.
time to go to Atlantis. It is time to become crab.
Hold on. I need to double check something.
Oh,
Gotta open the
dude.
rule book. Give me a second.
Oh man.
Okay. Where is? There we go. Okay.
As we sit here,
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to double check the rules here.
it's okay. Atlantis is real.
Atlantis is real.
Okay,
So
so you're
that
gonna
was
make your
fast.
initial reading of Africa's Dark Sects. Oh boy, Mythos rules. Hold on.
Mythos and my Call of Cthulhu?
Who'd have thought?
Who would have thought?
Impossible.
Hey, this is what I need to look up. Okay. So you don't actually get to make a check against this. I am going to roll how much sanity damage you lose from reading this book. What I'm trying to find out, just in case, because I'm rolling a die here that's a little on the dangerous side. I can't find out if reading books can provoke temporary insanity.
I mean, it would technically be from the same source,
Yeah, so
so
I'm gonna-
logically.
Lucky I rolled
Sorry,
a 2.
gamers.
So Sybil,
Oh.
James, you lose 2 sanity points from reading this book. You also gain 2 percentiles to your Cthulhu Mythos score. Okay.
I need the entire chat to know that that James is currently on 41 sanity points.
Oh man.
Oh, I love this game.
It's okay, we have a development phase coming up.
You do. And we're probably gonna run over tonight, and we'll address a few things, but then we'll see where things go. If we get to the development phase tonight, awesome. If we don't, whatever. We won't run over too long. This is gonna take a minute though, so allow me to change the mood music for our 2 lovers, Sybil and James.
Yeah. You
And
gotta
change-
get some mood in the room. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Shut the fuck up.
Trying, baby. Anyway, trying to hold back this feeling.
Both
Anyway.
of you need to shut the fuck. All of you need to shut the fuck up.
So once
That's what we're
again,
at with.
Yes, sir.
this is a Mythos tome. So I've already described what it looks like to you. I will give you the skim reading information, and then I actually have a hell of an excerpt from this book to read instead of the usual quotes. So you get audiobook Xander tonight. As I have to read it out. It's gonna take a couple minutes for me to read through it. But as always, I will link this as a PDF both to our to my players and to our fan Discord server over on the clue boards, so you guys can follow along at home. But here's what the skim reading says. This book collects the papers of Nigel Blackwell, a minor self-funded African explorer. No attempt seems to have been made to organize Blackwell's works. There is no index, for example, and the topics vary wildly. Focus of the work is on African cults and esoteric religious practices. The more gruesome or vile, the better. Cannibalism and bestiality are some of the more comparatively tame practices discussed. The author treats the blasphemous religious claims of the various African cults he discusses with an undue and unexpected degree of credence. Regions discussed include East Africa, the Kenya Crown Colony, and German East Africa in particular, the Belgian Congo, and West Africa, especially the Niger River Basin. And you ready for a little excerpt?
Yes, please.
This is from Chapter 8, labeled The Bloody Tongue. I'm going to read this in an accent because I think it's cool. Our expedition traveled east, across the Rift Valley, and into the mountainous highlands of central Kenya. There, Kamau said he would endeavor to take us to a region where a small cult worshipped a god known as the Bloody Tongue. The members of this cult were reviled by all the local tribes in the area. Legend held that the cult of the Bloody Tongue was able to conjure something villagers called the Black Wind. It was a literal wind, but infused with evil spirits, such that it brought plague, famine, and death upon any in its path. The conjuration of the Black Wind was a rite celebrated by members of the cult to honor the god of the Bloody Tongue. I asked Kamau about the god's name, assuming that it was named for some kind of bloodletting or sacrifice carried out by the celebrants, akin to the self-mutilation we saw carried out in the mad rites of the Pain Dream sect in Congo. But Kamau was hesitant to speak more about how this cult came to be so known. Rather, he said this was something we should see for ourselves. Stealth was paramount in attempting to witness a rite of the bloody tongue, and in the end we determined that Kamau and I should go alone, as we'd be less likely to draw attention of the cultists whose thirst for blood sacrifice is legendary in the region. We traveled 2 days into the highlands, the mountains growing larger and the trails becoming steeper as we worked our way up from the savannah into the verdure of... Is that the right word? Verdure, I think. Yeah, verdure.
Yeah.
Of the...
Verdure.
Back to the book. Verdure of the Kenya's great mountainous peaks. The final miles were difficult to travel, as we needed to stay off the game paths to avoid making ourselves known to the cult members. We traversed the side of a low peak and eventually climbed into a large tree, which provided a decent but shielded view of a clearing below. We covered ourselves with large branches and leaves and waited for nightfall. Kamau reiterated the need for silence if we were successful to bear witness to the cult's rites. As darkness fell, perhaps 100 celebrants came to the clearing, many busying themselves in building a large bonfire, and many more shepherding a group of clearly terrified captives. The captives were forced to stand with their arms and feet as far apart as possible, and in this posture they were bound to each other, wrist to wrist, and ankle to ankle. From where I sat, they looked a bit like a fence. There were perhaps 20 of them, bound in this fashion. A priestess of sorts entered the scene. I was surprised to see that she appeared to be young and had strikingly attractive features. Still, it was clear the other members of the cult feared her and gave her great deference. To one side of the bonfire sat a group of 4 drummers, 3 with large djembe drums and 1 with a smaller, higher-pitched drum. When the victims were fully prepared, the priestess gave a nod to the drummers, who began beating in a frenzied pitch, sounding out a rhythm, the likes of which I had never before heard. As the priestess whirled around the firelit circle, chanting dim words from an ancient spell, the cult executioners busied themselves with their screaming sacrifices. As the blood flowed, a chill wind sprang up, and I felt a flash of fear. The wind had become visible. A black vapor against the gibbous, leering moon, and slowly my terror grew as I comprehended the monstrous thing taking force. The corrosive stench of it hinted at vileness beyond evil. When I saw the great red appendage which constituted the face of the thing, my courage died, and I fled unseeing into the night. You also learn that this book has a spell for you, if possibly. From the skim reading, there is a spell in here which I will, in a better, oh god, the spell is referred to as in the creation of Simba, and is described that the victim chosen to become a Simba must die by ritual mutilation. The priest then chants over the remains of the body from the moment the life leaves it until it reanimates, approximately 18 to 20 hours later. The Simba will perform mundane tasks and continue to serve its creator until rot renders its form useless.
Not as interested in performing that one.
Sybil, not
I
wanting
mean,
to
but we
raise
know
the
it
dead?
now.
Well, you don't know it, but you have access to it. You would need to study it if you wanted to learn it, but that's all right. So,
I'm not gonna do that.
Made a murder.
so,
Today.
Anyway.
It doesn't need to be a murder. Just like
Didn't you say they had to be killed in a certain way?
They have to be killed. in a
Yeah.
certain way.
Ritual.
So it would
ritual
involve murder.
die by ritual mutilation. Yeah.
All right.
So, that's what the book Africa's Dark Sex involves. As always, because you own this book, you can actually commit a full reading for more information another time. That'll take time, though.
Of course.
I am going to, since you are now the proud owner of the Carlisle book collection, and I will break down the times these books will take to fully read. But okay, cool. I think we resolve all the item stuff.
Yes.
Let's see. So we established that from after those 2 initial days, it'll take 8 days. for the auction to kind of run its course, but you're getting them. Like your money is the best one. It's just Erica has to wait 8 days for all the offers to circulate. Snowstorm hits New York on the 27th, really fucks things up. That kind of delays you guys for a couple days anyway. But once things are open again, what's the plan?
Sunil is... You've noticed over these 8 days that he's gotten increasingly more tense and increasingly more distant. He's an entirely boiling fucking kettle right now. So, he has thoughts of what he wants to do, but he also is just like, God.
I'm taking this book back to the Hobbit Library. I'm going to Boston. I'm taking my one chance to see my...
Do what you gotta do.
Yeah, I'm
Please. Do what you gotta do.
I know that we've gotta go off and we've gotta figure out what happened. God, he said something about Australia. But before we go, I wouldn't be any use to you if Aaron murdered me, so I might as well go to Boston and go to Harvard and
Go.
You hear Sunil, who has been, this boiling kettle. He just quietly kind of goes, "Can I please go with you, please? And all that tension that had been like slowly building over the past 8 days, really over this past thing, but like very noticeably over the past 8 days, it doesn't...
I'd say that the 8 days haven't passed yet. This is like probably like 5 days after Juju House, so it's like with this
in
is like
these past couple of days, he kind of like just completely just outpours, as in he's just like, I just want to go to Boston. That's all I want to do. That's all I want to do. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's what we planned.
I love all of you very much. I do. I really do. And I realized that over the past couple days. I knew that already, but I love you all very, very much. There was something I was coming to the States to do that was not this, and then all of this happened, and I'm so sorry that all of you would have had to do all of this. I'm sorry, James, and I'm sorry, Mason, and I'm sorry, Sybil, and I'm sorry, Kid. And...
What are you two still doing here?
I haven't seen my mother in 4 years. I'm gonna...
Oh.
We're gonna...
Yeah.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Well, if you need access to the Harvard Library, I can get you in there, and I want to return that book anyway. So if you're done with it, I'll take it.
Yeah.
But
No,
Yeah.
it's okay.
yeah.
Don't-
Tell them.
Don't worry about it. We got Jackson's killers. You can rest. You can both rest. It's okay. We'll be okay.
How does Kit look?
Kit looks pained. It looks like he doesn't want to leave you all, but he also desperately wants to leave you at the same time, and it's just this warring sort of factions, and it's been so long since he's seen his mother and his family and Aaron and spent any sort of time, but he has this duty, he has this obligation to all of you, and it's just...
Sunil, most likely at this point, if given the physical permission, likely has grabbed Kit's hand and has squeezed it again, given the
Which
physical
has been
commitment.
given.
Just trying to hold on to some of that
Yeah.
tired energy.
Yeah. Like I said, you know, I'm no use to you if Aaron murders me because I made a promise, and it's been a
Here.
It's been a long
Where's
time.
Sunil looking?
Sunil, he's looked at
Is he
Kit.
looking at Kid or is he looking at us?
He looked at Kit, then looked at you.
Because James, by this point, if Sunil looks at them, James is just like, just take him, just go. He's already gestured. He knows that there's nothing he can say at this point to communicate what they're all feeling.
Hmm.
And
Sunil, yeah.
Go on.
Sunil kind of like swings the hand a little bit, almost as a signal, kind of bumps into Kit a little bit.
Yeah. We should right. We're gonna go to Harvard, and we're
gonna go to Harvard. We're going to talk to Mary. We're going to have spend some time with Aaron.
talk to Mary, and Aaron's gonna talk to us, and we're gonna return.
And it's okay, and everyone will be okay.
You'll
be okay. You're okay. It's okay. You don't always have to be the person who holds things together. Sometimes you have to hold you together.
We'll get it sorted out. We'll get it sorted out.
It'll get sorted out.
At this point, Mason gets up and approaches Kit. Just kind of, he kind of like extends his arms a little bit, inviting a hug.
Yeah, Kit sort of like he sort of looks up as if he's not really seeing what's going on, but he sort of just this recognition. And he comes back to himself and just sort of looks at Mason and just sort of hugs him and just thank you. No, you will be right back. It's like we were never gone. You'll be fine.
Mason doesn't say anything. He just kind of finishes the hug, turns to Sunil, invites him for a hug.
Sunil takes the hug. He pats Mason a little bit. It's a strong. It's like a very like tender, strong hug that he's attempting to pull. And he kind of like while he's hugging Mason, he's like, "While we're gone, remember to put your own water cups away, okay?"
I can't make any promises, but look after each other, all right? Strong men don't gotta walk alone.
As they're doing this, James is gonna have a moment. He's just gonna kind of look over at his wife, who I'm assuming is sitting right next to him on the bed.
Sybil kind of looks down and like fiddles with her dress, and then she nods and kind of hops up and like
He nods to her and lets her go.
goes over to Kit. Kit,
Yeah, Sybil.
it's okay. You can take as long as you need. It's okay. Don't even worry about any of this. It's okay.
No, we'll be right back, Sybil. It's fine. It's nothing.
Shh, no. It's not about if you come back. You gotta do this for you, okay? I'm not worried about you coming back. I'm worried about you. I want you to be happy too. It's gonna be okay. Go see your family.
He sort of just envelops Sybil in a hug and just, you're my family too.
You're mine too.
Yeah.
And hey, Sybil pulls away a little bit, reaches up and pats Kit on the cheek. Let James and I know if we can, come visit. If you want to invite us. Erin did say she wanted a little sister, and I would love to spend some time with her.
No, I'm no, of course. I'm pretty sure my mom would take one look at you and just adopt you straight away. She's kind of like that. So.
Sounds
That
wonderful.
makes one of us.
No, she'd adopt you. God. Kit sort of like takes a look at all of the investigators. God, no, I'm pretty sure she'd adopt all of you. Nah, that's it's just how she is. We'll be back, and I mean, if you want to come up to Boston in the next few days, yeah. But I'll take that book and I'll bring it back to Miss Tilson at the library, and yeah.
Sybil takes the book and holds it out for Kit to take.
We'll be back.
All right.
Yeah.
Be safe.
Kit and Sunil obviously have to finish arranging some travel preparations to head up to Boston by train, probably within the next day. Actually, is Erin already going up there, or is she actually going to accompany you guys? She
was waiting. She was waiting.
Yeah, she
for
got
us.
snowed in too, so she's basically just been.
She got snowed in too, and she's like, "Oh no, bitch! You're not leaving without me.
Yeah, exactly.
You're not going away. You're not running away. I'm not giving you the opportunity." So, and Kit's like, "Yeah, that's fair. Okay, fuck, I guess."
Absolutely. In the last few days, there's been a lot going on. There's a lot more still to happen. But Kit, you get to recommune with Erin, get to plan to head back up to Boston for a brief sojourn home to see your family. With everyone else, I mean, it's a matter of it's like no time at all, essentially, when the newspapers come out, and I'd say that this news passes along to all of you. There's a part of you, smallest part of you, that is offended that you didn't get a phone call first, but then you first realize this makes sense more. You find out through the headlines, Hilton Adams has been fully exonerated. The NYPD has enough evidence in the ongoing case against the Harlem murders to believe Hilton Adams was innocent. And that is followed up among you guys by calls from Hilton, by Schoenberg, by Millie, who are all extremely thankful for your aid. They don't know what the fuck happened, but they're glad it happened. Yeah, and so that's a little bit of good news. So Kit, Sunil, you guys reconvene with Erin, get to the train station. Kit, to a bit of your dad's there with Erin at the train station.
She would have told him about the police thing, and he would have heard about it too, and it's just the whole thing.
And Ryan's just like, well, Christopher, I'm glad to see that you're all right. That was very Yorkshire. That was not Irish. Hold on, let me adjust that. Well, Kit, I'm glad to see that. All right, Christopher. He says Christopher, not Kit yet. Well,
yeah.
Heard in the papers that Adams fella being let go. So, well, that's good. Well, I shouldn't keep you much longer.
No, it's that is good. And Kit sort of pauses and just sort of, he doesn't really make eye contact with his dad, but he hugs him and just sort of,
he stiffens a little awkwardly and kind of relents into it, and then as the hug pulls back, he just kind of nods and awkwardly puts his hand forward for you to shake.
Kit takes it,
reaches over, pats Erin and goes, well, thanks for visiting me. You too. Don't want to be late for your train. Well, stop by whenever you're in, and safe travels. Awkwardly kind of just stands there coughing. Like the moment anyone begins to turn away, you begin to turn away. Kit, you hear your father behind you go. Kit actually drops your name, like, and goes, say hi to your mother for me.
You've got it. Yeah. Love you.
I feel like this is thematically appropriate. Like Aaron would like jump in and yell something out loud here, just to interrupt this awkward silence. I feel like that's appropriate to who she is.
Erin's like halfway down the platform. She's like a foot boarding the train, just like, are you two done yet?
Yeah, exactly. Kit, Sunil, awkwardly standing off to the side watching.
I was about to say, Sunil's like, I can't.
You're holding Kit's bags like off to the side, meerkatting. Anyway, yeah, you guys board the train. Kit, Sunil, and Aaron make their way up to Boston for a little bit, while the rest of the group in New York continues to wrap up their local affairs and prepare for the next leg of the journey. Oh, James has a finger up. What's up?
I just want to say, now that Kristen is back, can we please take Millie and Hilton out for dinner?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
All three of us, while they're off doing their family thing.
Yes.
We gotta go off and do our family thing.
100%. On that note, we will end tonight's episode of Call of Cthulhu, Masks of Nyarlathotep. Join us next week, same time, same place, as we embark to the next leg of the journey, most likely, and see where the investigation takes us. Until then, Cthulhu Fatagan.